Good evening. It is December 3rd. In 24 hours, it'll be 8 o'clock on December 4th. And in history, December 4th is a day where we lost a soldier. And many people, they might say that they want to be like Mike. You know what I'm saying? Many of us say, yeah, I want to dunk the ball like Mike Tyson, dunk the ball like Michael Jordan, or punch like Mike Tyson, or shoot a golf ball like Tiger Woods, or be a Steph Curry, shoot threes, or be a great actor like Denzel Washington. Then you have some individuals who say, I am Malcolm X. And they want to be an activist like Frederick Douglass, abolitionists, and fight for various things. Well, when I was in college, and I was in my blacks, I think it was Blacks in America class. And, I was introduced to the school library, and we had certain assignments that we had to do. And so when I started going to the library and going to the archive room and getting those little microfilms and pulling them up and watching different shows, I would start watching a lot of the series of Eyes on the Prize. And I came across, it was the timeline, and then they finally came across the 70s, and they came across Fred Hampton. And we had Martin Luther King, we had Malcolm X, but it was something about Fred Hampton that I admired. There was something about Fred Hampton that I said, I can do that too. I can be like Fred. I was young too at the time. I was like, I can be like Fred. I should organize like Fred. And one of the things that Fred Hampton would do on a consistent basis, he would get the people to come out, and he'd have them, before they do anything, they're working out. And to get people to get up early in the morning in the cold in Chicago and be working out, I thought that was amazing. How many people seen the footage of them working out in the cold, and see all those beautiful women with their afros, and they all in line, they talk about power to the people, and they all, I was in awe with that. I loved it. I thought it was the greatest thing to see. And I said I wanted to be like Fred. Well, Fred Hampton at the time was in his 20s. He was a young boy. He was 20, 21. And they did him dirty. But it's not that they did him dirty, it's how they did him dirty. Because you can't just knock off a general just that easy. You have to have your informants. So I met his son. I remember meeting his son. I mean, how many people met Fred Hampton's son? Fred Hampton. Born August 30th, 1948. He died on December 4th, 1969. He was an American activist who came to prominence in Chicago as deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party and chair of the Illinois chapter. As a progressive African American, he founded the anti-racist, anti-classist Rainbow Coalition. The Rainbow Coalition, a prominent multicultural political organization that initially included the Black Panthers, Young Patriots, which organized poor whites, and the Young Lords, which organized Hispanics. See, there's no reason for them. I hate when people always do shit like this, though, which organize poor whites. Just say organize whites, which organize Hispanics. They don't say poor Hispanics and they don't say poor. Why they gotta be poor whites? Why does you gotta separate them? Why this just couldn't be whites? Oh, is there also only the poor whites associate themselves with Black and Latinos? No, come on, folks. But anyway, which organized Hispanics and alliance among major Chicago street gangs to help them infighting and work for social change. A Marxist Leninist, Hampton considered fascism the greatest threat, saying nothing's more important than stopping fascism because fascism will stop us all. In Chicago, he was born. Look, for all you women out there, he was born in 1948. He died in 1968. 21 years of age. 21 years of age. 21 years of age. No, we there. We soldiers. And it's so sucky because when you look at life and you look at how we lose our people, how the hell we lose our people? It's always someone on the inside, man. Like, how the hell did Martin Luther King get killed? Huh? How did Martin Luther King get killed without it being an inside job? And that's just the reality. How did Martin Luther King get killed? How did they know where the hotel he was at? How did they know without it being an inside job? So we have a lot of informants, okay? College students, sororities, fraternities, your community activists, your street drug dealers, your street hustlers, your everyday people. But when you have informants and you can't even recognize them as an informant because they have you blindfolded, that's a major issue. And how do they get you? Simple.
I associated him as the FBI. So
it's very easy to get individuals to become part of it. Because when you have a people who's been so oppressed and so downtrodden, and when you have a people that's looking for a come up, oops. And when they looking for a come up, I had that up already, my bad. They pretty much would do anything. And check this story out.
All of a sudden, I was working for the FBI, which in my mind at that point, I associated with being an FBI agent. So I felt good about it. I felt like I was working undercover for the FBI, doing something good for the finest police organization in America. And so my neighborhood was not unlike most people that grow up in Chicago. Most young people, we were very mischievous and did a lot of juvenile type, petty criminal type things. But stealing a car and all of a sudden having the FBI, having a case with the FBI, the thought of having really going to jail got my attention. And so when he asked me to join the Black Panther Party, and he used terms, he never used the word informant. He always said, "You're working for me," and I associated him as the FBI. So all of a sudden, I was working for the FBI, which in my mind at that point, I associated with being an FBI agent. So I felt good about it. I felt like I was working undercover for the FBI, doing something good for the finest police organization in America.
See, this is cool. This is I don't like when people, when you're talking the body language, the body, you know what I'm saying. Come on, you feel me? I'm work for the biggest police. Yo, come on now, right? Like body language trying to convince you, right? I can just imagine how many people was getting. He was. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I killed that damn mosquito. I want to know how many people pretty much died being called a sellout. This man said, "I'm from Chicago. Shit was rough. We was doing mischievous stuff. We was mischievous, and he always grew up. He grew up wanting to be a cop. He saw the cops as something great. You say that shit now, you get slapped. But he saw the cops as being something great. And so when he had the opportunity, because he stole the car and they gave him a chance to, either go to jail or become an FBI agent, he went home and he probably got sex from some woman saying, "I'm an FBI agent." You know what I'm saying? He probably was walking around feeling like he really was some type of FBI agent. But that's what I'm saying. You go out there and you get these happy-go-lucky cats. You go recruit them from college. You recruit them from jail. You recruit them from being homeless. You get these happy-go-lucky cats who just happy to be better off than what they were. And you give them a title. You work for me. I work for you. You're an FBI agent. I work for you. And then you know how these niggas are. They got to add a little extra to it. Knowing that you ain't got no salary, you're not on no payroll. And he going all around everybody saying, "I'm an FBI agent." Telling all the women, "I'm an FBI agent. I work for the feds. I work for the FBI." You don't work for no FBI. Show me your badge. I'm undercover. I don't need no badge. I report to such and such and such and such. On some cornball goofy shit. Well, that's what you look for. You look for the cornball goofy cats that you can control. You look for the badass goofy cornballs that you can control. And that's why I tell you folks that there's agents in this black activist community. There's agents in the movement. And whether they know they're agent or not, they are agents. I'm going to, throughout the video, I'm going to prove to you the agency. I must be an internet celebrity for all these people to come to my shit to do some dumb shit. Let's go back here a little bit.
So we were in an organizing process, and there was very little criminal activity, as I could determine what was going on. Very little to report to the FBI, in my mind, because I felt like since the FBI was an investigative body investigating federal crimes, that crimes were what they were looking at. And so,
tell me a little bit about how you felt about working for the FBI. What motivated you, and what you edge you saw you were serving?
Well, in my community, the policemen were, it was the quickest way to gain respect. I think I grew up wanting to be a policeman, admiring and respecting policemen, although I always thought it was outside of my reach. My neighborhood was not unlike most people that grow up in Chicago. Most young people, we were very mischievous and did a lot of juvenile type, petty criminal type things, but stealing a car and all of a sudden having the FBI, having a case with the FBI, the thought of really going to jail got my attention. And so when he asked me to join the Black Panther Party, and he used terms, he never used the word informant. He always said, "You're working for me." And I associated him as the FBI. So all of a sudden, I was working for the FBI, which in my mind at that point, I associated with being an FBI agent. So I felt good about it. I felt like I was working undercover for the FBI, doing something good for the finest police organization in America. And so I was pretty proud.
Camera roll number 3089.
Did you ever think, or did Mitchell ever try to convince you that the Black Panthers were a threat to national security? How do you understand what the FBI's interest was?
Well, I think Mitchell, the relationship between I and Mitchell concentrated on the local activities. We talked very little about what was going on nationally early on in the game. Later on, when Bobby Seale and the guys would come to town, it took on a national scope. But right then and there, we were concentrated on the local chapter. And later on, I understood that his thinking in that regard, he wanted me to build up some credibility within the Black Panther Party. So he gave me a lot of room, a lot of leash at that point. He let me become a Panther before I became an FBI informant. I didn't go right in, rifle and draws. He directed me into the Panthers, and then when I got there, he backed off and he let them work on me a while. And slowly it worked. I became a Black Panther in a way. I forgot the scope of me being there. In fact, I didn't really know why I was there. I just knew I was to report, but I really didn't have anything to report early on in the game. So I concentrated mainly on Panther duties. I lived the life of a Panther.
How did you, what was the work that you did, and how did you rise up to the ranks of the party?
Well, mainly from day one, we had very little personnel, a lot of spots to fill. There were a lot of activity, a lot of things to do, and so naming positions at that point and filling those positions were really the leadership's responsibility at that point.
So William O'Neill, he becomes a Black Panther. He forgets that he's an agent. Now he thinks he's a Black Panther. Now he has to keep reporting and be an agent. Don't know that he's an agent. Think he's a Black Panther. And that's what's happening with a lot of these people out here that starting these nonprofits, who starting these organizations. They don't know that they're being used as an agent to get in the mix, to know what organizations is doing such and such. So they being funded by various agencies. I even believe that you have agents right now in this modern day time whose sole purpose is to divide and bring division amongst the movement. So you have agents that are being used and utilized right now as we speak to have a platform so that they can shift the momentum pretty much to themselves. And they get paid for the moment to be shifted to themselves. Not much, but they get paid well enough to be able to do this, where it's just nothing but a distraction. And everything, every year they go by of not getting anything accomplished in the movement is a job well done. You got to ask yourself why this school has not came into fruition. It's because it's all a distraction. He's one of those agents that's being used, not knowing that he's an agent, but he knows he's an agent. That's why he gets on the phone and call the police. He knows he's an agent. That's why he got the shit going to court. He's an agent. Umar Johnson. You want to know who else is being proven to be an agent? Several people. Several people are proving themselves to be agents. Oh man, this is a touchy topic. I'm trying not to be too abusive with this shit, because I ain't no fucking agent. Who the hell? Nah, dude, you're an agent. Who you're an agent for? And that's what we gotta figure out. What agency you working for? A lot of you folks are working for agencies. We gotta figure out what agency you're working for. There's some guys who's out there working for the LBGT agency. There's some guys out here working for the feminist movement agency. There's some men that's out here working for the Down Low Brother agency. There's some men that's out here that's working for the Negro races. Okay, there's a Negro races movement as well, agency. So we have to figure out what agency people are agent for. And then, of course, there's the white power agency that so many people want to be affiliated with. But overall, when you look at all those little agencies I just named, those are all different departments of the overall agency. So, men who don't know that they are being used as an agent, men who don't know that they are being used to allow agents inside a core, a certain core. That's deep. When you don't know that you're being used to keep the door open for agents to come in, you don't even know that you're being used. Agents are using men to pretty much battle one another and fight one another and not accomplish the overall goal. These agencies are distractions. Amazing. That's why it's important for us men to really be careful from the Jezebels, because the Jezebels can really, really sidetrack you. I know y'all looking at William Mill like, where Don going with this? Where's Don going with this? There's so many avenues and directions I really want to go with this, folks. This is real touchy. There's people I want to bring a comparison with this whole agency, because, like I say, he said like this. He said that they caught him for driving. Right? They said they caught him for driving a stolen car, and they said, "You work for us." Let me go a little bit into the story, because, like I said, there's a person I want to bring up because he's being utilized as an agent and don't even know. And we as men got to help him so he can realize he's being used as an agent to push and promote a certain agenda. But let's go more into deep with Agent O'Neill, because tomorrow marks the like the 52nd year of the death of 53rd year of the death of Fred Hampton. Martin Luther King was killed in 68. Fred Hampton was killed in Martin Luther King was killed April 4th. Fred Hampton was killed December 4th. Right? He was killed December 4th of 69. Martin Luther King was killed April 4th of 68. I don't know how the folks was dealing with that type of fucking energy, man. We talk about 65, 68, 67, 69. Like, it was so many men just dropping like flies. I mean, we forget 65. Let's go to 63. You talk about a white man, the president, get killed right before the people. Then you talk about his brother getting killed. Then you talk about Malcolm getting killed. Martin getting killed. Yo, I mean, Medgar Evers, I mean, like, yo. So for them to recruit, after they put the fear factor out there, for them to start recruiting people, it was kind of easy. Why? Because they were scared. They didn't want to go to jail. They didn't want to get killed. They didn't want to be pulled on the side of the road. These fear factors that was put on these people was amazing. The pressure that they put on these people was amazing. So when you talk about informants and agents, folks, and you look at this modern day time, where are the informants and agents right now? Who is a informant? Who's an agent? You work for us. When you look at the women's movement, they put mad pressure on these boys, these men, and pretty much say, you work for us. We helped you. We support you. You work for us. We going there. We going somewhere, folks. I'm going somewhere with this.
And because of my knowledge of electronics and, I was just a handyman basically around the office, and we had this office building that they felt like wasn't too secure. I started working right away to secure the building, and in that regard, I fell right into the security position. And it got more sophisticated as donations started to flow. As the membership increased as a result of speaking engagements on the school campuses and so forth, my responsibilities doubled, and so I was given a staff of security people, and then I just advanced from that point on.
What were the major developments during that year of the Panther Party as you saw it? Was it the programs? Was it the alliances that the party was building? What was the Panther agenda as you came to understand it?
To free Huey. Basically was the agenda of the Black Panther Party all along. Let it be no mistake, Huey P. Newton was locked down. The Black Panther Party was Huey P. Newton, and Huey P. Newton was the Black Panther Party. And no matter how powerful or strong our membership got in the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, no matter how many speaking engagements Hampton had, how many donations we had, how many papers, there was always a national office out there to remind us that we were subservient to the national office, that we were just a chapter and we weren't the Illinois Black Panther Party, we was the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. And their goals at that point was to free their leader, who was locked down in Alameda County Jail, facing the death penalty for killing a police officer. The party recognized that at that point that they needed liaisons. They needed alliances with various groups in order to survive, basically in the climate in Chicago. So they embraced the various political issues that was of the day. They got involved in all types of causes, mainly to fortify their position and to free their leader, Huey P. Newton. And he was effectively running the Black Panther Party from inside of the jails. Most of our political direction was mandated, came out through his lawyers, and was passed on nationally through the chapters. It was Huey Speaks.
Stop now.
What's so sad is that I'm looking at his body language and everything. I can just imagine the meetings that they was having, the conversation they was having. It don't seem as if they was 100% cool with that. But that's just me assuming and just reading body language and the way he keeps saying it. It seemed like, you know, they wanted to be their own boss, but Huey was running shit from the jail, and they you know, it seemed like too much friction. And that's the problem. It'd be so much friction with our organizations and organizing because everybody want to be the head. Everyone wants to be the head. Everyone wants to be the head. That's amazing, right? When you have momentum, you have a movement, you have push, and it ends because everyone wants to be the head. That sucks. This was Fred Hampton's wife, his girl. That's his son. It's crazy because I'm looking at the son. I could see not Fred, but I see the son's face right there, 100%. I see him as a boy. I see him as a grown man. Look at that. It's a strong woman right here. She was strong and beautiful. You could tell she was strong. You could tell she was strong just as she has this interview holding the baby.
Fred Hampton was murdered by his government. But before that, he was a leader in a movement practicing a new kind of activism. A movement targeted because of its power to unite people.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than this.
Stop. You're in.
Oh, cool. Yep, even easier than that. What's in your wallet?
In 1964, as a historic year in race relations, on July 2nd, President Johnson signed into law the Civil Rights Act. It was the strongest...
In the 1960s, racial progress in the U.S. was at a turning point. Activists won major civil rights victories, and the era of Jim Crow laws came to an end. But at the end of the decade, there were still deep social and economic gaps for Black people across the country. Black Americans continued to face high poverty, poor housing, and unemployment, and they still had little to no political representation. These disparities and an increase in brutal police violence led to uprisings across the country. Many young Black activists grew frustrated that the changes they'd hoped for hadn't come.
It's just the opposite of being a white man. That's about the best I can abbreviate that for you.
After the police killing of an unarmed Black teen in San Francisco, two activists in Oakland, California, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, founded what was initially called the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Newton had studied law and knew it was legal to carry arms in California as long as they were not concealed. The Panthers began to patrol their communities. As the movement grew, several highly publicized confrontations with police would bring about mainstream awareness of the Black Panther Party. Shortly after, he was recruited by a founder of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party.
That you can jail revolutionary, but you can't jail revolution.
Because of his charismatic skills, he quickly rise to the top of the crop.
Here he is at age 21, building and leading the Illinois chapter Black Panther Party.
Soon after they met, and Jerry and Hampton became a couple.
Anybody that has met him or heard him speak, they say he wasn't bullshit. He was for real.
You got to understand. You got to be quiet. Your dad struggled, your dad wins, your dad struggled, you got to win. Then you willing to fight for it.
Chicago in particular was a place where the party's ideals especially resonated. It was then the second largest American city, and due to decades of discriminatory policies, also one of the most segregated. Chicago's mayor at the time, Richard J. Daley, opposed neighborhood integration. And in the 1950s, the city had begun to redevelop certain neighborhoods, pushing low-income residents out and into densely packed, high-rise public housing in already overcrowded neighborhoods. Black people were pushed primarily to the south and west side of Chicago. A large Puerto Rican population was here in Lincoln Park, and poor white people were concentrated here in Uptown. These groups all faced similar problems.
They all had dilapidated schools. They all had dilapidated homes. They were all being drafted into Vietnam. Very few of those communities had health care.
In 1969, Hampton led the Panthers towards an unexpected alliance, a coalition of activists working across racial lines against a corrupt city government that threatened their communities.
What they had in common was their poverty. They was building a revolution based on class solidarity that transcends race, that they all had the same hell to pay.
Hampton named the group the Rainbow Coalition. It included the Black Panthers.
Well, in honor of Fred Hampton, we need to kick that off again, but I call it the Rainbow Coalition. We need the Rainbow Coalition. And it's a coalition of different shades of brown folks, okay? We need different shades of brown folks. We don't have to integrate. We just need to come together. We need the different shades of brown folks to come together. And once the different shades of brown folks can form that coalition, then all other shades of folks will come on deck, and they will really come on deck to really do the work that the shades of brown people put forth. But to integrate, I wonder if Huey was around, if he would have really, signed off on that. It might have seemed like a smart strategy and smart move, and going to the 70s and everything. But when you had so much going on, that might have been at the same time a bad move. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have your own core strong, now you allow all these other cores in. Now you just allow a shitload of informants. It was very hard organizing, folks. It's very hard organizing. It's not easy organizing because you're trying to think what's right and you're trying to really strategize. But at the end, if your core that you really want to start off with is not right, it's only going to end not so good. It ain't going to end too. And what's sad is that it was a short run. It was a short run for this kid. And I think it was just too much. It was just too much going on. You talk about grown man thinking right now from young boys. And yet still, they young men, they young boys. And so you're still going to have some young boy drama in there with grown men strategizing. Power to the people, man. Shout out to Fred Hampton Jr. This wasn't a good look, you know what I'm saying? They had so much anger, frustration. I feel them, I understand. But when you organizing and organizing anger and frustration, I think that sometimes your moves could be detrimental, and I think that that was the case back then. What I'm saying, I think that they was trying to find angles and trying to make things happen, keep the people believing. You know how these people with YouTube do? They start picking drama, picking beefs, and picking fight to get the people to support and get those donations to come in, get those cash apps come in. So they start picking fights and shit with people. Well, I think that was sort of the case. Then they needed some victories. So I believe the way they got their victories by doing various things. Too bad the people just wasn't believing in them enough where they could give donations of 5 cents, 10 cents, and 50 cents and things like that to help them grow. But what was they grow for? What was they trying to grow? What was the overall accomplishment? More guns, more breakfast food. They wanted to build their community. It's hard to build your community with black folks, especially when you speak in a militant manner. If the majority of the black folks are not willing to go that way. And therefore, that's when you're going to start getting your informants. So what happened to the whole informant movement? Where did they go? They just disappeared? They stopped working for the feds? So where's your modern day informants? Who's your modern day informants? How do you identify your modern day informants?
Puerto Rican group called the Young Lords, and a group called the Young Patriots, made up of largely poor white migrants from Appalachia who had moved to Chicago seeking economic opportunity.
We don't hate the motherfucker white people. We hate the oppressor, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow.
I don't mean sing kumbaya and make a quilt. I'm talking about bringing them together on common things they could unite on. Not everything, but who could say that children do not deserve to have a healthy meal?
Anybody from coalition, anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse for capitalism.
Hampton and other Panthers helped the Young Lords and Young Patriots launch their own social programs. They organized protests together. And it was working. Members were traveling across the country to organize Rainbow Coalition chapters.
Particularly where Black Panther chapters were, but also in these rural white communities as well, to bring the revolution to bear. This blows people's minds. These people are not supposed to get along, but here they are operating as brothers of the struggle, as revolutionaries against the capitalist structure. And that was the threat to the state at the local level, but also at the national.
In 1968, the FBI had sent around this internal memo. It outlined goals to prevent the coalition of militant Black nationalist groups and prevent the rise of a messiah who could unify and electrify the militant Black nationalist movement. It wasn't written about Hampton specifically, but by 1969,
Chairman Fred Hampton was the one that fit the bill.
The revolution was in the air. And the ways in which the Panthers were able to transcend those racial lines, especially the charismatic leadership of one like Fred Hampton, they saw him as a greater threat even than Martin Luther King or Malcolm X ever was.
In one FBI memo about the Black Panthers' breakfast program, it claimed their real purpose was to poison minds with anti-white propaganda and indoctrinate youngsters in hate and violence.
The FBI, under the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover, had deemed the Black Panther Party as the #1 threat to the internal security of this country.
The FBI operated a counterintelligence program called COINTELPRO. It was a program that targeted dissident political groups in the U.S. Their methods typically went outside the law.
They were using tactics.
Was a program that targeted dissident political groups in the U.S. Their method.
Okay. So now we going somewhere. Now we get into modern day time. So when we're looking at hate groups, what's our new hate groups? The new hate group is any group that hate black men. That's the new wave. Hate groups that hate black men. Whether you are black groups that hate black men, female groups that hate black men, this is your new COINTELPRO. Organizations that be funded to hate men and also to infiltrate the men to find out who's who to bring them down. That's why they're really in the music industry right now. See, the COINTELPRO is in the music industry right now. Any artists who want to make music that's sort of towards the revolution, no, you got to come over here, come to the house, come to the party, come to the pool, get these pictures taken you, and you get part of this shit, and you no longer talk that talk. You talk this talk. Drop it like it's hot. Okay? And we have to watch these individuals. When we look at the activists, we have to watch those individuals who talk the talk of the system. And like I said, the new COINTELPRO is individuals who speak and have hate towards black men. Like a Cynthia G. And so I'm about to hop all the way across from 1968 in Fred Hampton, and I'm gonna go to Cynthia G, because like I said, this topic was way deep. It was something. It's a curveball. I'm about to throw a bunch of curveballs right now. The curveball is about to happen. December 4th, Fred Hampton was murdered. Today's December 3rd. I was trying to figure out how I can lead up into this move, this talk I'm trying to do. So I had to bring up the whole agency with Fred Hampton. I had to show that informants. You don't know how long a person would be sitting next to you, would drink with you, eat with you, support you, donate to you, and it's nothing but an agent. So that they can get you to become brainwashed and have a certain mind control so that you can become an agent for them. You work for them. And Cynthia G is like a mermaid. And she would serenade you with her words and serenade you, I guess, with she was serenading these dudes. Thank goodness I have earplugs in my ear. I don't hear the shit. I have eyes on them, I don't see it. So it's no serenade me. I see it for what it is. I hear it for what it is. And that's a Jezebel. And she's in this whole internet world to cause friction. And she's an agent of destruction. And I see how she has effectively hurt an individual who I believe could do better things and don't need to be distracted with mediocre shit. Like getting into heated arguments with their brothers over this woman. I'm very much upset to know that we allow these agents into our communities to this day to cause this friction, to cause this disruption, to cause this hate amongst one another, to stop us from the overall goal, which is revolution. Like I said, agents, now this is a different type of war right now. The FBI don't have to go and shoot stuff up no more. All they have to do is plant certain seeds and start a revolution on the internet of words, of confusion, of distractions. And there's an individual I like. I think that they have a certain skill. I believe that they can actually do some great things, even though they might be doing some great things. I just think that there's bigger pictures for for us all. But I think that they got to cut loose the agency. You got to cut loose your agency for you to really be able to move forward, because right now we need all hands on deck. We need men to rise up, and we're looking for men to help lead other men, lead us away from the shores so we can get into the waters and we can start this battle. Lead us back from the waters to the shores. But we as men cannot be allowing these agencies to distract us so we can become dysfunctional. I'm going to play something. And I'm going to play this because I want you to understand that this COINTELPRO isn't just about a white thing. It's about a black thing, how they using black folks to destroy black folks. And we just biting. You got Umar Johnson saying that Tariq and his FBA movement is not needed, is a fraud, is scamming. So we got to ask ourselves, what's going on? We got to ask ourselves, what's the distraction? Who's the distractor? Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? Then we got to just go to the works and see what type of work the people doing. There's agents in our movement, folks. In the 2020s, we got agents in the movement, and we have to identify who they are. How do you identify these agents? Well, like I said, I know Cynthia G is one, and she's casting spells on people because she's not just an agent, but I believe she's also a witch. And then she casts a spell on the individual, and I got to call it out for what it is. This spell got to come off this person because we need this person to really keep the wheels going. We need to get this spell off the person. So everybody got to, this is going to sound crazy, but everybody got to come at this person. So this person can go at that person. So this person can get the devil about that person, or just slay on one. We need all men on deck, all hands on deck, y'all. I gotta keep coming back to that. We need all hands on deck, all soldiers on deck. And we got to come from underneath these women. We got to come from, when I say underneath these, the spell, the caught up in their lustful spell. If you have a wife, you have a woman, let that be your covering. Let that be your protection from these Jezebels. But we cannot be going at one another, ready to destroy one another, and not sit back and check that individual. We have enough hate going on, folks. There's too much hate. There's way too much hate. I'm trying to see how I'm gonna get into this. I'm trying my best to get into this. And I ain't talking about this. I'm talking about this individual.
They were using tactics such as assassination, discrediting, false narratives. They were falsely putting people in prison and exile, which were all illegal.
Several Black Panthers were killed or imprisoned, including the party co-founders. In Chicago, the party was also targeted by Mayor Daley and the Chicago police.
Our office was burned down at least 3 times. People would disappear. You never see their bodies again.
you go to bed, nice I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up and somebody might believe it, you might end up in what they call it, revolutionary honeyground.
Hampton, a rising star at just 21 years old, knew he was a target too. He'd been arrested in 1968 for allegedly robbing an ice cream truck and handing out $71 of ice cream. In 1969, he was sentenced to 2 to 5 years in prison. He appealed and was released on bond, but lost the appeal. He'd have to return to prison by December 6th.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest.
Now, did y'all peep that? The man got murdered December 4th. He had to go back to jail December 6th. So he's already doing all this type of stress. Like, damn, I gotta leave my woman. I gotta go to jail for ice cream that I snatched off this truck to get to these kids. That what the hell I do that stupid shit for? I can't believe I got caught up with this dumb shit and not knowing that the devils are coming. The devils are coming. The devils are coming.
Easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than this.
Stop. You're in.
Oh, cool. Yep, even easier than that. What's in your wallet?
On December 4th, around 4 a.m., 14 Chicago police officers arrived outside Hampton's apartment on Chicago's west side.
So pretty much December 3rd, right? Was it December 3rd? Like today, then at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to 12 o'clock, December 4th, then 4 a.m., December 4th. Okay, so it went from December 3rd to December 4th, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Or was it, because it could have been December 5th if it was 4 in the a.m. after 12. That's December 5th. So from December 3rd to December 4th, 4 o'clock in the morning. So like right about now, they was all, they was all together. They was probably eating, they was probably talking, they was probably reading books, they was probably strategizing, baby crying. They going to bed soon. They about to go to bed. They about to prepare to go to bed as we speaking right now. At 4 in the morning. This man is he's in bed talking. He's in bed while the baby's sleeping. She's in bed and they all talking. He's on the phone, falling asleep talking. He falls asleep, boom. And this is what happens. He falls asleep on the phone. And this is what happens.
Inside, Hampton and Jerry and 7 other Panthers were asleep.
I was very pregnant, and the first thing I remember was Chairman Fred had fell asleep while talking on the phone. The next thing I remember was someone in our room started shaking the chair. Chairman, wake up. Wake up, the pigs. While talking on the phone. The next thing I remember was someone in our room.
Yeah, I had to pause because she looked so pretty right here. Do you see how beautiful this woman is? Huh, ladies? No makeup, no weave. She's beautiful. Don't you agree? That was pure beauty right there. Natural beauty. So sad. Understand? It was so sad, folks. Too sad.
Chairman, wake up. The pigs are vamping. And I'm seeing Chairman Fred look up. And then he laid his head back down real slow.
Officers kicked open the door and shot Mark Clark, a visitor from another party chapter. They shot a sleeping 18-year-old named Brenda Harris. Then they shot in the direction of Hampton's bed.
Matt is just going, you can feel the bullets going into.
I had moved over on top of Chairman Fred because there was shooting into our mattress. The person that had come into the room kept shouting, stop shooting, we have a pregnant sister in here. Eventually, the shooting stopped.
And Jerry was forced into the kitchen when she heard another voice.
Someone said he's barely alive.
I assume they talked about Chairman Fred. Steve said, he's good now.
As they took me out and jammed a revolver to my stomach as I was handcuffed behind.
But you see what she say? The pig. She's on camera. She's talking. She's being interviewed. Baby in hand. It's the pigs. The pigs. It's no the what y'all call them, the untouchables. No, it's no untouchables. The pigs. You hear her?
And my back. I didn't look towards our bedroom because I didn't know what I would see or how I would respond.
The police fired nearly 100 shots. Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were dead. The 7 surviving Panthers were arrested. And police smiled as they removed Hampton's body from the scene. The Chicago police and the state's attorney's office quickly shaped the narrative to call it a gunfight, a battle, and a shootout.
Officers involved in the raid testified that they were fired on from 4 different rooms in the apartment by shotgun.
Before I could get past the threshold, there were 3 shots fired from the rear bedroom.
They played back a story that you could not even fathom. They gave a fictional account of what happened. Again, vilifying the Black Panther Party.
And they were firing at police. Yes, sir. Police saw the shots coming out of the 2 bedrooms.
This attack by the Black Panthers on the police clearly demonstrates the true character of the Black Panther Party.
Could somebody tell me why they was at the Black Panthers house at 4 in the morning? Was there a phone call that came in? It was a disturbance call that came in. Was it a disorderly conduct? Was it what's the word when you was it any type of violent act that was going on with Fred Hampton and his girl? You know what I'm saying? Was there any type of abuse going on? Was there any type of party going on? Loud music? What was going on that the cops had to come to that crib 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning? What was going on that the cops had to come to that place and start shooting shit up? Why did cops come to get into a gunfight? But yet and still they was shooting on you 4 in the morning. This is sad.
But experts and lawyers hired by the Panthers, along with other journalists, inspected the crime scene. The Panthers even opened the apartment so that anyone could examine it. And a drastically different picture emerged. It was clear that the police had fired unprovoked. Of the nearly 100 shots fired, only one possible shot could have come from a Panther's gun, likely from Mark Clark at the front door. The bullet holes that the police said came from Black Panthers were nail heads. Later, it also emerged that the FBI had assisted Chicago police with the raid. The FBI had an informant within the Black Panther Party named William O'Neill, who had become chief of security and Hampton's bodyguard. O'Neill had provided the FBI with a hand-drawn floor plan of the apartment, which the FBI then gave to Chicago police. And evidence strongly suggests that before the raid, O'Neill had drugged Hampton. In the years after Hampton's assassination, the police and the FBI continued to imprison dozens of party members across the country. The official Black Panther Party would continue to exist until 1982, but membership decreased dramatically, and it would never be the same.
And each one of you would be able to die in less than 14 days. We're still struggling, and you'll be living. And I think that struggle's going to come. Why don't you yield for me? Why don't you struggle for me? Why don't you die?
Fred Hampton wanted revolution. Those in power wanted to destroy him and what he stood for. But they weren't totally successful.
Chairman Fred lives. You know what I'm saying? Through the military assault, through the destruction of the party as an organization itself, you know, by the state, the legacy of the party is still here.
Today, the work of Fred Hampton is alive through some of the same
And
programs.
that's why I gotta
that
get this
marked him as a
breakfast
threat.
program going.
Many of the programs that the Panthers created are now staples of our society. We didn't have free breakfast in schools prior to the Black Panther Party's free breakfast program. Those free clinics, almost every major college campus got a free legal aid clinic. The ways in which sickle cell testing is now respected as a disease by the CDC and others.
That's the importance. That's why I need to make that happen. I need to make this breakfast program happen in honor of Fred Hampton. In honor of Fred Hampton and the Black Panther movement. It's important for this Breakfast Club program to be happening, this free breakfast for the kids, because they need to be able to eat, man. One of the worst things is to be sitting in class and you starving. It's a very hurtful feeling. Another hurtful feeling is to see these clowns come on your shit and put dumb stuff on there, and you talk about Fred Hampton. I'm talking about the Black Panther movement, Fred Hampton. I got goofballs coming over to my little live stream to put stupid sex shit in my shit. That's depressing. Here I'm saluting Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers, and you come over here to cause chaos. Lord have mercy. It's also embarrassing, and I ain't talking about for me. I'm just talking about for you, that you spend your day and your time to come over here to do some cornball shit like that. That's such a loser. So, okay, so now we talk about agents. And I'm saying that Cynthia G is the agent, and she has individuals working for her. Whether they know they're working for her or not, they working for her. And right now, we must, as men, we must say, hey, fellas, you can no longer work for this woman. As a matter of fact, it's important, it's imperative for you now to check her. Okay? Because she's inviting the Trojan horse into the community, and she's inviting the Trojan horse to all your social media platforms, and she's inviting the Trojan horse pretty much to know who's who. She's inviting the Trojan horse to know who's who. I remember when everybody was getting upset when Let Me See Your Transcripts brought that dude, I forgot the nigga name, but whatever his name is, what's that guy name, man? And then we started relating it to the show Friends, not Friends, but Cheers. what is Al? Yeah, whatever his name, Al. When she let that dude Al in, and he started, having the voice and so much of opinion and everything, like, oh, who the fuck is dude? And everybody's saying, is he a foreman? Is he a foreman? Well, who is he? Who is he? You know what I'm saying? Well, my whole thing is we have to be careful because who we let in. Because who we let in can take you out. They following you now. They donating to you now. But yet and still, they know that you are what you support. They know that. But they want to know who's who. Okay? They want to know who's who. I'm telling you, bro. You really need to check this, your homegirl. Because she's causing way too much division. She's getting cats into heated arguments and discussions for nothing. She really needs to be checked. And this is what I'm talking about when we have agents that cause agents of destruction, agents of chaos who pay others to work for them. And then this is what happens. This bothers me. This bothers me a whole lot, folks. And it bothers me that because there's several people who's having worries to talk about it. And that's why I'm saying to you, it's important for you to really check this chick so that these individuals can fall back and stop painting negative image and pictures, because it's important for us to get as many strong men as possible to come together so we can make these moves. But we can't sit at the table with those individuals who are being used as informant for the feds. You're working for the feds and don't know it if you're not checking the Fed itself. Like I said, this is a touchy topic. Touchy topic. It's the way I'm swinging. I'm swinging like a baseball bat. So, where am I going with this? Well, Tariq Nasheed, people are starting to think that you are an agent. People starting to think that you're an agent. I think Cynthia G is an agent. Okay, I really truly believe that Cynthia G is an agent. I believe that she's getting paid, and I believe that she's not just an agent, but I believe that she's a mermaid. And I'm asking the men who's associated with her to run. Otherwise, this is what happened, okay? You get caught up in shit like this. You get caught up in shit like this. And also, we must really start helping each other out, man. That's why I was at the school, helping each other out. We got to help each other out. We got to help each other grow so that the agency cannot recruit you because you need financial support. Agencies recruit those who want to do great things. You know what I'm saying? They recruit them from their desperation and lack of funds. So when you are in lacking funds and you desperate for help and support, when agencies send its agents out to you, you're going to receive it like, oh, shoot, yo, we got it. We got some support. Oh, it came from this beautiful woman. Oh, she really cares. No, she's a Jezebel. So, shout out to my man Q Butter. Shout out to Q Butter. we need you to check the Cynthia G character. Because no matter what way you try to angle it, hang it, put it up, she is assassin. She's no good. I don't see how you can see her as being good for the community. Oh, because she's talking about this selective group of men. No, because that same selective group of men could be utilized for great things. Where they at, they can be utilized for great things. She talked about men in general. Don't care. She don't care. So it's important for you to realize that we cannot allow these mermaids to separate us men. Because this conversation I was listening to, obviously you brothers knew each other, you met each other, and because you wasn't understanding what the brother was saying, y'all was almost ready to come to a shootout at one of your spots. And at the very end, this woman wouldn't have gave two flying fucks. She would have went in live and said, talked about you both being Neanderthals. You know what I'm saying? Neanderthals. The typical men. You see, that's what they do. So y'all would have killed each other, and she would have profited off it, made $500 laughing to the bank. So we had people putting out these articles, and I'm like, damn, what the hell? It said Q Butter sold his soul to Cynthia G. And I'm like, why are they saying that? And I realized because you have been recruited by this agency, bro. And we care. We really do care. We're not going to allow you to go down that lane, all right? I'm not going to allow you to go down that lane. You can paint it whatever way you want to, but I'm not going to allow you to go down that lane. You can make a major move right now by checking this Jezebel. Because you must check this Jezebel. Ain't about no, oh, we men going at this woman. No, this ain't no woman. It's a demon. Oh, you men focus on this woman because this demon is casting spells. This witch is casting spells. That's what we focus on. So when this conversation came in, I know I covered it before, but I got to cover this because we got to get this to be eradicated. Do you know what type of effect it would be for her to publicly apologize? The same way they got Kanye apologizing to Jews, I believe that she needs to apologize to black men for her antics, her racial slurs, her hate. Why the Jews can be respected, but we can't. So I never, ever want to hear anybody coming at my man Q for what he didn't do, because he's going to check this. He's going to check. I promise you, he's going to. I know he is. He's going to check it. He's behind the scenes. He's checking it now. I know he's going to check it because this ain't cool that people checking him for not checking her. And it's not cool to defend this beast. I pray that Zynex have great things for 2023. I pray that major expansion, but it's only going to happen when you release this beast and you rebuke this devil. Don't let the devil have a stronghold on you because you are lacking certain things. That's why it's important for us to sit down at the table and organize, bro. I need you at the table so we can organize, because we cannot allow women to get us men riled up against one another and be ready to fight. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. So I'm going to share this and play this a little bit. Like I say, shout out to Q Butter to do this respectfully, because we can't be having these clown people disrespecting soldier. So I'm going to publicly address this.
Cynthia G's not a black militant. She is a personality on YouTube who voices her opinion and allows people to come on their platform and voice opinions, and she brings light to different things. So if she chooses to bring whatever the fuck she on the channel, the fuck that got to do with me or you? How could you get mad over that? That's crazy to me. That's that subjugation shit. Oh, she's not supposed to do that. Fuck is you to tell somebody what the fuck they're supposed to do on their channel? You a weirdo. Like, that's just weird. You see what I mean? Like, you don't like something, you cut the shit the fuck off.
What is he talking about? All right. Whoever he's talking to about, I don't know. But he talked about Cynthia G and how she brought this white guy on the platform to downplay and downside black men. Now, for him to be RBG, and this is what he's saying, it's like, to me, it's like completely like, what the fuck are you saying? Because if that was any other person, if that was a black man who did some shit like that, who brought, you know, he would have been going hard. But for it to be her, why is it that you don't go on her? She brought a white man on her platform to speak to her congregation of people. It's like she invited this white man to her church to speak to her congregation to talk about the people in the community in which the congregation lives. And he's talking to her people about her people in her community and telling her people that they don't need that shit. Just imagine we going to their community and doing that shit. That's not flying. So I'm trying to understand him with his point right here, because I know when I listen to their platform, I know they RBG'd up and, you know, they believe in black power, Pan-African. So when this black woman waving her hair and fake eyelashes and fake all this shit, and she brings some white man on her podium to talk to the people, why didn't she bring you on the podium to talk to the people? Why she had to bring some white man? I don't know what it was about, but I just know that she brought some white man on the podium. And it couldn't have been nothing positive. Do you think he was saying, hey, sisters, y'all need to support your brothers? Or is he one of those people at the workforce place saying, I have a question for you. I have a question. Why do black guys always, you know what I'm saying? I have a question. Why do black men always call black women hoes? That really? Well, are you free later on? Maybe we can go out and eat. You know what I'm saying? That's that bullshit right there. Why do black men? Oh, why do they call you dots? What's a dot? That hoe over there. Oh wow, that's so messed up. I mean, do you want to go get something to eat? That's their pickup line. What? This their pickup line, black women. Why do black men do? Why do they think that they have big balls and big cocks? Well, we white guys got it too. You want to go out to have something to eat? You want to go get some drinks? Yeah, I'm gonna fuck this bitch, man. Why do black guys? That's their pickup line. They got you at the jobs. They got you. Then you talk about the managers and oh, I'm about to get out, about to come up. My boss, he's hitting on me. I never dated a white guy, but I know this much. I'm gonna let him take me out. I'm gonna spend his money. That's the infiltration. That's the agency. And so when you have an opportunity to check it, it's imperative for you to check that shit. I wish I had a direct line and connect to her so I could check it, but she has to be checked because this agency right now is filled with devils, and they playing seeds, and they trying to get some more demons to rise up. And every time we get a chance to slew one of them, we must slew them. We gotta slay this shit. This gets very heated, and I'm not cool with this. This get way too heated over this woman, and watch how it goes over this woman. It's so crazy. This is embarrassing.
When sports is on and commercials come on, you change the fucking channel. You mute the TV. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You just ignore the shit. I know y'all got a crush on her. She's beautiful. Y'all looking at the screen. Y'all hate her weave or whatever. Y'all hate her style, but y'all love it. Be honest, y'all love it. Y'all love her voice. Y'all love the way she puts y'all out. Y'all love the way she present her information. Y'all love her. Y'all Taz, what up, Taz? Y'all know y'all love Sniper. Y'all are weirdos. And not the weirdos that y'all like them, but just be honest with the fuck it is. Don't be sitting there fronting, making videos mad at Nyla for Cynthia for highlighting the fuck shit. You got thousands of videos by men disrespecting black women in rap. Forget YouTube. You got thousands of videos of rappers disrespecting black women. Now, what Brad ain't gonna talk about is his white ass grandfathers and cousins who put millions of dollars into financing rap videos and the culture of disrespecting black women and hip. What's good, brother?
What's good? What's good? How you? Straight black pride.
Black power all the time, every time.
Straight black pride. Yo, so anytime we got our black females out here disrespecting black male and majority over a minority, then we know that they not for the black family. Because if we don't see white girls bigging up rednecks or dissing rednecks because they the minority and they do stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta have the foolish black woman with an audience out here dissing all black men and telling black women to fuck with or mess with black men or white men, right? Because of a minority of black people, and you over here defending it, son?
Now, what's so crazy is that you can even tell that when dude was talking, he was expecting Q to kind of come in and be like, yeah, you're right, but he didn't. So that's why he's like, and you defending yourself? Like, what the fuck? I thought you was RBG. What the hell? And then honestly, he's not even coming at him maliciously. He's like coming like, yo, like, dude, what's going on, man? You already know. You see what's going on, bro? And that's why we as men have to have a certain type of allegiance. Matter of fact, I'm gonna rewind because Q he said something key. Q said something key. Let me go back to this shit.
Because they the minority and they do stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Black pride. Yo, so
it's this white ass. Y'all are weirdos. And not the weirdos that y'all like them, but just be honest with the fuck it is. Don't be sitting there fronting, making videos mad at Nyla for Cynthia for highlighting the fuck shit. You got thousands of videos by men disrespecting black women in rap. Forget YouTube. You got thousands of videos of rappers disrespecting black women. Now, what Brad ain't gonna talk about is his white ass grandfathers and cousins who put millions of dollars into. Y'all are weirdos. You cut the shit the fuck off. When sports is on and commercials come on, you change the fucking channel. You mute the TV. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You just ignore the shit. I know y'all got a crush on her. She's beautiful. Y'all looking on the screen. Y'all hate her weave or whatever. Y'all hate her style, but y'all love it. Be honest, y'all love it.
That's aggravating right there. Men who've been around females, men who have women, men who respect men who respect themselves, men who grew up with a mother who told them to not stress and emphasize these Jezebels, witches, and bitches. Look through and see through that shit. Don't think that every man is caught up with that razzle dazzle magic shit, hocus pocus. No. And that's why we as men really have to understand, like, yo, we cannot allow what they possess to possess us. You know, you got to use what you got to get what you want. We can't allow that Jezebel spirit to possess us where we become retarded, where we lose our godliness. Your godliness is your manhood. We can't lose our manhood because of we getting caught up with some old black pearl shit. We can't get caught up with the black pearl. Especially when we have a mission to slay the devil. We must cut the head off the demon. We have this spiritual warfare fight. We can't get caught up with that. So when Q was defending it in that manner, she's beautiful, you love it. Oh, like, yo, dude, nah, you wilding a little bit, bro. Come on, man. Let's get her the fuck up out of here. But all you did was give her fuel and then gave her something to start even using. No. So when dude came on deck, he came on with some strong, valid points. So let my man talk real quick. I don't know who this person is.
We building from a position of building.
Right.
So you follow him, Matt. You on that same page, right?
I'm straight black pride. We met before.
So you RBG'd out, right?
To fuck with or mess with black men or white men, right? Because of a minority of black people. And you over here defending it, son? That's your word? That's all I gotta say, fam. You wanted me to come up here to say it? I'm gonna say it.
You with straight black pride, right?
Straight black pride. We met before.
So you RBG'd out, right?
Straight black pride.
We from the East Coast.
Flatbush. You bring my spot, Black Elephant.
So you know you were taught the 1 to 10 as a kid. You understand the 1 to 10.
What?
5% and all that good stuff, right?
Bro, you wanted to talk about Cynthia T, right?
No. I'm follow where I'm going with it, beloved. Remember,
I'm gonna walk with you. Go ahead.
We build it from a position of building.
Right.
So you follow on, Matt. Go ahead. You on that same page, right?
I'm straight black pride. All that other shit, I don't really.
I hear what you're saying. We know what you're
doing. I'm just going
with
off of what form of knowledge you may have and possess because of how you perceive the situation, right? The reason why I bring that up is to say when we talk about people who are not culturally aware, people who are not in a position to fight or develop what we consider to be a fight for the community, right? So I don't put those expectations on people. That's my job.
That's fine. I don't put that expectation on 90% of the world. But
let me finish.
No, there's a but.
You on my platform, brother. I'll let you finish.
Supporting somebody.
You gotta let me finish. You on the platform. Listening first, brother. Remember, listening. So
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
What about listening? We gotta hear each other.
With your long-windedness, there, brother.
It's my channel. I could be long-winded, brother.
Well, you invited me up, brother.
So I gave you the floor. You could be as long.
I ain't asked to come in. You invited me.
You can be as long-winded as you want on the channel.
See how we still going down the distraction road?
You know what I mean?
This is now testosterone.
Respectfully, my brother.
Right? Because it's not
because
just
they're trying to avoid the fact that you got to slay the
listen
demon.
to it and understand it.
So now the attention going to go towards each other.
And so when I got into YouTube and we see that she's in the sector of YouTube. And do you have an issue with Tommy Soda Man?
Tommy,
that comparison
Tommy
is
so
corny.
Got punched in the face in Harlem.
It's
because
about
you know that he don't represent the black community.
You know who was there when he got punched in the face, right?
I was there too, and he don't represent the black community. So of course I would.
So that's what happened to him. He got punched in the face. What did we do to Cynthia G?
I got you. You on the same page with him?
No. What he just said was dope.
Nope, I don't fuck with Tariq.
He said what he
fuck with Tariq Nasheed.
just said was really dope.
Got punched in the face in Harlem because he know that.
It's like you avoiding it and trying to avoid it.
And do you have an issue with Tommy Sotomayor?
Tommy Soto Moisture got punched in the face in Harlem because he know that he don't represent the black community.
You know who was there when he got punched in the face, right?
I was there too. And he don't represent the black community. So of course I wouldn't support nobody that again disrespects our black community.
I got you.
So, no, you don't. No, you don't.
You fuck with Tariq Nasheed?
You're going too much. Look, fellas. Look, fellas. You can keep going and grabbing and avoiding this fact that, if you name 10 people, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, name 10 people. But the bottom line is this. This is the bottom line. She's very disrespectful to black men across the board. Now, we as black men, we could take time out to check these black men and be like, hey, stop talking about the black women. But right now, this black woman is causing turmoil, hate. She got hundreds of thousands of women out there and people following her, donating finances to it, and she getting money pumped from this white system to her to keep pumping this division. And not one time did you even acknowledge her for being foul-mouthed and have a hate towards you, trying to bring a comparison and saying, so what's the difference? I don't like shit like that. That is actually feminine. And like I say, I like you, but it's like I really love black people. I love black people now, and I want us to understand that we cannot allow these demons to possess us and then control us and then have a division. This is annoying. Man came up there, he had a valid point and said, Tommy got punched in his face. He don't represent the black community. So what do we do to her? Okay? If you came up with Tommy and he said, yeah, and Tommy got punched in the fucking face up in Harlem. Holla. You was there? So was I. Bam. Okay, now he got punched. I wasn't there. I'm just saying. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there. Okay, he got punched in the face. Now, how do we handle Cynthia G? Okay, I want you to understand. You brought up your case. You brought up Tommy. Now, so he said, yeah, Tommy got punched in the face. Now you got to bring up the Nasheed, and Morris Nation is handling him right now. Tahaka is handling him right now. How do we handle Cynthia G? Tommy got punched in the face. Morris Nation, Tahaka is handling Nasheed. I got Umar Johnson. I'm handling Umar. He got him. How do we handle Cynthia G? Tommy got punched in the face up in Harlem. Blah! Tahaka from Maryland is smashing on this nigga Tariq Nasheed. Smashing on him. I got Umar in the court. So any man that you want to use as bashing women, talking about, they all being handled. So now how is Cynthia G getting handled? And that's where we at right now. Shout out to Danikia Mary. She's handling these women. She's talking to these women. Shout out to Shalakemia. She's talking to these women. She's handling these women. Shout out to Melly. She's talking to these women. She's talking to these men and telling them how to deal with these women. But now we as men, we must stand up and say, we ain't dealing with that. You're going to cut that out. About, she's talking to the less productive ones. No, we talk to less productive ones. She ain't say, oh, the less productive. She ain't labeling it. She just labeled black men. That's my issue. When we have the opportunity to make a stand, make the stand. Take the stand. Don't sugarcoat shit to give that person more fuel and power. You could have really stopped her from all that crazy talk. It ain't about control her platform. It's watch that motherfucking mouth. Otherwise, you get slapped in the shit. Or you hit one, you got slap a devil. Cut it out, folks. We're in a different warfare. We're in a different time zone. We got trannies. We got women who think they men. It's Royal Rumble right now. You saw how that chick Dejanay handled. She come rocking on you. You going to just stand right there? You going to put her in a fucking place? Get your minds right. Get your minds right. What was I looking for? All right, yeah, let's listen.
Fuck with Tariq Nasheed, clearly. Cool. Let me ask you, do you fuck with the Black Manosphere?
Straight Black Pride. I fuck with irritation.
No, I'm asking, do you know about Black Manosphere?
I know about it. I fuck with straight Black Pride, brother.
I know you saying that part. Now with the Black Manosphere,
right?
I
don't care about nobody else.
I know you saying you don't care, but if you're
responsible, nobody else, big bro.
I'm asking you if all black men responsible for the community.
Of course, that's our job.
So now, with that being said, these three names I just brought up, and I'm sure you don't fuck with Kevin Samuels, make up a major portion of Black YouTube. Would you agree?
Wait. I'm not gonna be core. If you're gonna let me speak, I speak. But I'm not gonna. Well,
I'm just asking since you're going back and forth. What I'm saying is,
he said basically when he said, "I'm pretty sure that you don't fuck with Kevin Samuels," he was sitting like, "How you know I don't fuck with Kevin?" He probably sitting here like, "Wait, I like what Kevin say." That's why I say, "Yo, you're not going to ask me a question and answer for me." You know that, and it's going sour from right here. And why is it going sour from right here? Is because my man Q is trying to get him to back down on cutting the dragon's head off. No, he's right there at the dragon. He's about to cut the head off, and you trying to convince him not to cut the dragon's head off. Who's been burning down families and structures and men and communities for a minute. And he's right there. He's about to slay this dragon, and you say, "No, don't do it." Q, man, it really fucks with you, but this is disturbing me because, like I said, Cynthia G is nominated. She's definitely one of the nominees for Coon of the Year. She's nominated for Coon of the Year, and I'm going to actually spend a whole lot of time talking about it. So I'd be damned if you're going to be saying there's something wrong with me for hollering about the bitch. There's nothing about her that I like or feel. Nothing. There's nothing about her conversation I'm feeling. There's nothing about anything she say that I care about until she makes a change and start talking in that manner and start talking to the real enemy. But as long as she think that I'm the enemy, I have a problem because I'm her enemy. And she's one of those type of women that will have law enforcement come into the town, snatch up all the men, and she would act like nothing just happened. Like she ain't call them. She would sweep the porch, cook her beans and rice, and that's that. They be like, where all the men go? Like all them niggas, they had to go. They wasn't worth shit. Blah, blah, blah. Like what? Where'd they go? Let's see how this goes.
These names represent a major portion.
I'll leave right now. It's all good.
These names represent a major portion of Black YouTube, right? And so with these,
you gotta say, and let me say what I'm gonna say, then that's fine.
you just let me go. Either we gonna build.
We're not building because you doing this cattle prod and shit.
I ain't doing nothing but talking, brother. You ain't doing nothing but interrupting me.
I feel like I'm in bull cell therapy right now.
No, you feel like you feel like you gotta listen. Now, if you want to just be disrespectful,
no, you asking me.
Say your piece, my nigga. Say your piece. Say what the fuck you gotta say.
About shit I don't care about, bro.
But nigga, if you don't care, what the fuck is you watching me for then?
No. I talk about Cynthia G. I don't care about
but if you respect me,
I don't care about black.
If you respect me, then you would listen. It's just that simple. I respect you. I respect you. Listen, I'm listening to you. Since you don't want to hear me, you can fucking talk. I want to hear what the fuck you gotta say.
All right.
Because I respect what the fuck you got. When I finish, you gonna shut the fuck up. When you finish, you gonna shut the fuck up and listen what the fuck I gotta say.
That's a fact. And that's how that works.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up and you talk and say your shit. And you
hard to do.
Fucking winded as you fucking want.
It seems like it's hard for you to let go. But all right, I'm ready. You ready?
Talk, nigga.
All right, I'm gonna talk, brother. I'm gonna talk, my brother.
I presented the brother's situation, which you came all crazy. So we can go back to brotherly love shit. Keep it like that, because you can't use that smoke.
I'm black pride. I don't use the N-word, and I'm sure you know that.
I feel you, but you acting like one, brother.
So I got discipline. I got discipline, but I'm not gonna be manhandled.
But that's how you came on acting.
No. I came to talk about something that you want to lead me in the corridor to some other shit.
I didn't lead you in the corridor. I was explaining my point. You have respect.
If you want to hear my opinion, I'll give you my opinion.
I'm listening. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna shut up.
Good job. All right. So I don't care about Black Manosphere. I don't care about none of all that other stuff. I came to talk about Cynthia G. If you want to talk about other people that disrespect the community, we could do that afterwards, and that's fine. Like Tony Sotomayor and all these other people. But Cynthia G right now is going after black brothers and telling queens to marry white men, bringing white men on to co-sign the bullshit that black men ain't shit. And if you part of the Black Power movement, Black liberation, my brother, how are you going to support a woman that spends all her time disrespecting black men based on 20% of the black community, right? Why would you?
If Candace Owens, if this was about Candace Owens, he would definitely be going ham. I just did 50 push-ups just now, so I'm a little out of breath. He would be going ham. And but because this woman supports his school, he feels that he has no obligation to black men. He just have an obligation to his donor because she's a Jezebel mermaid and she knows how to finesse the shit. This is very nervousing, bro. How can we have a black movement if we as men talk to each other like this? But give the female a pass. We ready to kill one another. No, this is not fair. Like I said, we have agencies, and we got women like her who saying, "You work for me, Q, brother. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna donate to you. Look at my channel. My channel is way bigger than yours. Look at my following. Look at me, right? Look at me. I'm that chick. Follow behind me, and I'm gonna show you how to do this." Because that's how we seeing it. Even if that's not how it is, that's how it's going down in the eyes of us. That's why he's coming up with like, yo, you signed for it? Yo, come on, son. That's why he's saying it like that. Like, what the fuck? You just walking behind her? You holding up her dress so it don't drag? That's what he's saying. Like, yo, fuck out of here. It's not, he wasn't even being disrespectful. He said, yo, you can't be holding this woman's dress up. Come on, man. You know that you're stronger than that. And this is real talk. It's like for some reason cats get lost. Come on home, fellas. Come back home. Come back home, cats. Don't get lost. We need everybody on the porch right now. We need all legs on and paws on deck. We need all paws on deck right now because we got to scratch out some eyes. And we don't have time to be fighting one another because we got these agents got us working for them. Cynthia G is an agent. She worked for a higher agency. And she's trying to make you work for her. Why is that we see this, but you don't want to see it? Now, I'm not talking about just one individual. I'm talking about a bunch of individuals. Why we see it, but y'all don't want to see it? Black women, she's an agent. This is scary. It's very scary, folks, that we got all these agencies out there and we are becoming clients to them. Not me. Not me. I will not fall to the shit. I'm going to be strong. I gotta be strong. I gotta be strong. And you gotta be strong too. Keep saying to yourself, I gotta be strong. I gotta be strong. I gotta be strong. I gotta be stronger. I gotta be stronger. All you weak men out there who feel weakness, your weakness is women, get stronger. If your weakness is women, men, you can't be part of this war. Because I was taught that the way you defeat an army is to have an army of women. So I can't be out there fighting in the trenches with men whose weakness is women. So if your weakness is women, you're automatically dismissed. It's like jury duty. You can't be part of this jury, okay? So if all your men out there, the men that's out there, that's talking this whole black pride stuff, and your weakness is women, you automatically is off the front line. Because the front line folks, we cannot have the women's weakness. I came across like several nice looking women that I had to pretty much dismiss in my way. I had to allow a certain character in me to come out to see if they can handle it, and I know they wasn't gonna be able to handle it, and I'd let it out. If they can handle it, then I'll fuck with them. If they can't, deuces. Because it's a simple test. It's a simple test. And 99% of the time, they're going to fail it. But I do this to protect myself because I don't want to get caught up with the Jezebel. I don't want to get caught up with the devil. So I see and I do this, and it saves me. That's how a lot of these dudes got mad babies. I've been doing this shit forever. I just press the button and be like, okay, let's press the panic button, my protection button. And when I press it, I see what's going to happen. And a lot of times it saved me from going down these roads that a lot of these other guys just go down because they caught up in that lustful mindset. As long as you don't have that lustful mindset, you don't get caught up with this Cynthia G's and all those other chicks out there. You don't get caught with them. You don't get caught up in that shit. And we don't need men on the front line who's caught up in that glamour of the woman. Fuck that. This is a war out here. We need as many soldiers as possible, and we don't need soldiers killing each other for these chicks.
Even support that, and then you're gonna disrespecting black men based on 20% of the black community. right? Why would you even support that? And then you're gonna support that with gratitude, like you doing it, like you doing us a favor. Like, bro, that's all I gotta say. Cynthia G ain't shit. She talked shit about us, and just because you knew her before she started talking shit or while she was talking shit, don't mean that you gotta stay her friend, because we about black liberation, and everybody fall that ain't down for black liberation. And that's how I got disciplined. I was able to let go of the N-word and shit that is detrimental for us as black people. It's just like you should let go of Cynthia G because she's detrimental for black people, brother. That's all I gotta say.
One, you said she spends all her time. I have a text message right here from Cynthia G. She just did. There's a third video where she's talking about my institute and what we're doing in the community.
Oh, so that's all about you, right?
Look, bro, you see how I didn't interject? You just talked about discipline. I said one thing to interject. Where's your discipline, beloved? Where's your respect? I'm just being honest with you. Like, if we men and we're supposed to be leaders, show respect. I'm telling you what it is.
Now look, dude, he chuckled, he laughed, he said, if they was face to face, he was quiet. It's like he's digging and digging. It's like he's trying to avoid the real issue to make it a conflict with this guy. It's like Q, it's like you're trying to make a conflict. Like right now, you don't. When I come back to it, you don't even have to be talking to him directly to him no more. You can go back to your topic of what you're talking about, but you're going to stay on him 10 seconds too much longer, which is not going to allow you to have your topic be fully explained, because now you just got the friction. Let's see if I'm right.
This is past the internet shit for me. So when you're talking about these babies that I deal with every day, the fact that you have never helped with the videos, helped with the babies, even I'll talk about volunteering, and you're in Brooklyn, and this woman has been reaching out to me for 3 years to promote what I do in the community, and any other black man, she says, Q, any other black man you work with that's doing their thing, I will promote. But the large portion of black men, which is why I was asking you if you knew about why 5% say 85% of black men or the black community is deaf, blind, and dumb. We were taught that in New York. So we know that that's just what it is. So whether she highlights it, a white person highlights it, a Jewish person highlights it, that's the reality of the system that we were in. Now, are we going to fight against the system, or are we going to bitch against the system? And what I was trying to tell you was, you're putting yourself in an argument that has nothing to do with you. She's arguing with the greater portion of YouTube that you don't represent, nor do I represent. We make up a small portion of YouTube that's like less than 5% of black men who do not focus on messing up black women, who do focus on building up the community, who focus on taking care of our community. We are a small portion of black YouTube. The bigger portion of black YouTube, who have the greater portions, spends their time disrespecting black women, disrespecting the black community, doing nothing for the black community. We can, and as I said earlier, when we talk about hip hop disrespects black women consistently. So us black men have to take ownership for the fact that this was allowed. And I said earlier, we need to separate which black men allowed this in there. It was the coons who were sitting in the offices with clear channels saying, we'll take your money and we'll go find Negroes that are dance like you want in the videos. It was coons who were sitting up and said, we'll take your integration policies. You're not a dude that was sitting on YouTube saying the black woman is the reason why the black community is fucked up.
I'm sitting here and I'm actually falling asleep, getting lost. I'm like saying to myself, I'm hearing everything, I'm seeing how you're going around the Bill Cosby to get to this, but what do all this have to do with the fact that Cynthia G is pumping nothing but hatred ammunition in the window? She throwing mad ammunition of hatred inside the window, and you saying, well, she's only doing it towards the weak population of black men. How about go to the window and put fuel of powerful energy, especially if you got so much great energy and fuel to give out? How about you? And I ain't talking about you, I'm talking about her. But how about she gives some of her beautiful energy of encouragement to the dudes? That's black power. Everything that you say at this point right now don't make sense, and it's not going to make sense. And to try and make it make sense to real men is only going to cause friction. And you're about to see the friction. And that's because you're working for this agent. This agent, she decided that she's going to use you for, and she's using you. She's using you. She's using you. And we men are saying she using you, but you going to what? You saying that, oh, we hating, oh, we crazy because we focus. No, that's a devil. Black man rise, original rebel. That's a devil. And like I say, we gotta know when the agents is around. Once again, going back to the beginning, I said to you, I said, where did these agents go? How are they using these agents now? This is a difference from the 60s. You got to use it differently now. So you got to use the same tactics of infiltrating the structure. So when we talk about black power, you got to have people infiltrate that, and then get the people that's in the infrastructure to go against their own shit. It's like she got you going against the same thing that you for. That's why you keep saying, I'm for black power. I'm for black people. I'm for black power. And he keeps saying that. And it's like she got you sounding bougie. Let me find out. Let me find out.
Because the black woman to welfare, she's not talking about you. That goes back to listening skills. She's not talking about you. The greater portion of black YouTube, black Twitter, black Facebook is filled with general Negroes. And general Negroes, unfortunately, do not care about themselves. They don't care about how they eat. They don't care about their policies. They don't care about their politics. They don't care about their family order. That is the unfortunate situation that the white community and the white system has put on our people. And so unless we're systematically fighting against those systems, it's going to continuously create general-minded Negroes who are not politically inclined, who do not care about their families, who do not fight against them. What?
I'm waiting for you to let me go.
You can't wait and ask for me if I'm finished at the same time.
I didn't ask you to finish. I didn't ask you.
I think you said, can I say
That's
something?
not what I said.
So did you understand what I just said?
I heard what you said, brother. I'm waiting to respond if you want me to respond.
So that is why what she's saying is a response to them. You are at an AIDS convention asking people to why they're upset and not talking about cancer. This is not our argument. That's what I'm telling you. This has nothing to do with you.
All right,
if you listen to her and what I'm saying to you, and everybody in the chat saying to you, it has nothing to do with you. If
you said that 3 times. You just said that 3 times, bro.
I can say as many times as I want on my platform. As many times as I want.
All right, so when you gonna let me respond? Or you just
when
gonna
I fucking ready to respond.
You gonna
when I'm ready to.
You just got me on here to say nothing?
Well, no, that's called respect. You talk when I let
you invited me. You went
and I'm gonna let you talk when that's order.
You went talking for 10 minutes.
I can talk for 20. It's
I
my
can just bounce. I can just bounce.
Bounce. You in Brooklyn.
You corny, son. You corny. Just because I got your school.
What's the address?
Because she got your school. Now you a sellout. That's sellout vibe.
1596 St. Mark's
Sellout vibe.
1596 St. Mark's Avenue.
Son, I ain't trying to fight you. What the fuck are you?
No, we can talk in face. We can have the same energy face to face.
You sound like an idiot.
Face to face.
You know where I'm at? 611 Rogers Ave.
611 Rogers?
Yes.
All right,
we've been there before.
I know where you at.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So
when you want me to talk, I'll talk.
And then wait for me to tell you when to talk.
That's it. Because you want to ramble all night. You ramble and repeating yourself all night.
I can ramble and repeat all I want is my audience.
All right, because you don't want to hear the truth.
The truth is when you get to speak it,
when you ready for the truth, you let me.
You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear nothing.
But you don't want to hear it. That's why you talking.
No, I'm speaking my piece, and when you get to talk, I shut up. It's for respect.
You repeating everything. You're repeating everything. You're not trying to have a conversation.
What have you been? What are you?
What's the truth? Government Government's prostitute, stripping the loot, giving blacks the boot. That's the truth. That ain't cute. Who they seduce? All those who are loose, moving when they choose, selling themselves to some cat named Bruce. You a seed, I'm a spruce. I drink water, you drink 50-cent juice with $100 shoes. Already you lose, cause you travel backwards. My words intelligent slugs for hush thugs. I pull the plugs and laugh. Oh man. Anyway, yo, look. What's the truth? Governments, prostitutes, stripping the loot, giving blacks the boot. That's the truth. That ain't cute. So right now, the COINTEL is pimping our people. So they're using our women to infiltrate our system. I'm telling you, fellas. I'm telling you. They're using our women to infiltrate the system. Okay? They've been listening to the women. They've been hearing the women. They know the women are fed up. So all you got to do is find a few fed up women, give them a little something, keep giving them a little something, and let them work for you. Watch these agents. This brother is trying to let you know, yo, this is war. We on point. We fighting. And you trying to talk about what you building, what you doing, what you doing, what you building. I gotta kill this bug. This bug is really in here, and I'm not trying to get bit up. Should look like a flying dragon. So here we about to go to another level right now. It went from, and still, the Cynthia G has not really been addressed. He's like, the question is, why are you allowing her? Well, he answered it. Because she's talking to dusty ass niggas who's online and who ain't about shit. Well, who's that? Describe what that is. Because it's not like she's on their panels talking about them. It's not like she going and looking. It's not like she going and scavenging through different peasant ass niggas live streams and going on their panels and talking to them and telling them about themselves. No, she's not doing that. She's just doing a broad channel, reaching out to a broad mass of people, and she's not targeting individuals that she see as like that need to be talked to. She just saying, "Oh, I see that this is going on," and she go on her live and she do it. Then she broadcasts and she talks about motherfuckers. That's it. She's not going to no panel and getting on these panels of these niggas who's talking this gang and all this crazy shit and saying, yo, y'all ain't shit, yo, blah, 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 blah. That's why black women are leaving. She ain't doing that shit. She ain't talking to them. She's talking about them behind their backs. It's not like she visiting many panels and otherwise you'd be like, yo, you hear a lot of cats talk about Cynthia G right now. But although she has a large audience of subscribers, she's still small. She's still small. So the audience that she's talking to is actually decent people. She ain't talk to no youth group. She talked to grown folks. Grown folks are seeing her videos. She not talking no teeny boppers and young adult dumb retards. She talked to 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and she talking down to them. And you co-signing. That's what giving us a negative vibe right now. You co-signing shit. Like I say, she's nominated for Queen of the Year. She's one of the nominees. Don't y'all know that you come to my channel and waste your time? You should go to her channel and her page and post this shit. She got like 1,000 people in the building. I got 2 or 1. You know what I'm saying? If I got 1 person in the building, you coming over here and putting this dumb shit up? Hot girls. Like I say, hot girls, you fucking derelict. See, this is the reason why black people can't go nowhere. Because this, like I said, this is the focus. This is your focus. That's your focus. And then all the girls who's doing it, y'all ain't worth shit. But nobody want to talk about them. They just want to talk about the men. You understand what I'm saying? You just want to talk about the men all day. So for Q Buddy, who talks to the greater women, the greater number of women who's out there sliding on poles, who's leaving Brooklyn, going all the way to Long Island to go dance and do lap dancing on for these white boys? Who's gonna speak to that mark? Oh, we shouldn't check them, right? Oh, let them be. That's what they want to do, right? That's gonna help build up the black community, though, right? That's black power, right? No, we must address these situations. If we don't, then someone else will. We must address these situations. We must address these agents. We must start closing down these agencies. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot more Fred Hamptons. That bug really got me tight. I thought I killed it. I ain't kill it. That bug really got me tight. So, I don't even want to hear no more of this because it's making me sad. It really made me sad because nothing was answered.
What are you building for the community?
You trying to ramble, son.
What are you building for the community?
You rambling, son.
What are you building for the community? What have you built?
First of all, we don't get our statistics from the gods of Earth.
I'm not using those statistics.
We don't get our statistics from the gods of Earth.
That's your choice.
So if the gods of Earth say that 85% of us are Negroes, then that don't mean nothing, because that's not true. It's actually only 20 to 25% of the black community is what you would call Negroes. So you want to go by those statistics? That's wrong, number one. Number two, it is my business, because anytime you dissing the black man or the black woman, I'm going to get involved, because I'm straight black proud. And just because she got your school in her mouth don't mean that she can do anything and sell out people out, and that make you a sellout.
Huh.
I agree.
I wish. I'm going to sell out doing these for these kids right now.
Now, I'm going to let you go keep talking. I'm done.
What have you did today for the black community but cry about Cynthia?
I got tears coming to my eyes. You know why? Because I'm like fighting words I want to say, but I'm not going to fight. I'm going to say whatever I say. I am so tired of us hiding behind these youth. Look. No, okay. Well, this don't say youth. Okay, I'm looking for one that says youth. I need something that says youth. I'm just so tired of us hiding behind these kids. Oh man, where's he going with this one? It's about the babies. It's not about them babies. if we as grown folks can't lead by example? Don't put no pressure on these babies if you cannot lead by example. Oh, it's about what you building? What you building? What type of institution you building? What are you building? What are you building? I'm trying to build with you right now and let you know that right now you are allowing this devil to sink a ship. Well, this devil has been donating to me. Damn, Q. Like I said, man, this is very important because I need you to wake up. If you want to be a voice box, if you want to be that nigga, if you want your institute to be that shit, you need to check your donors. You need to find out what your donors' motivation really is. Find out what their motivation really is. Oh, well, I'm just building my platform or talking to black men. If you want to talk to men, talk to men. Talk to white men. Talk to white men. Huh? If you want to talk to men, talk to Puerto Rican men. But don't talk about black men, uplift black men. But remember, she's profiting. She's profiting off of downgrading her brothers, her uncles, her father, her husband, her baby daddy. She's profiting off of that, and she's loving it. She's loving it. She was calling those two women who killed and murdered Shaquilla, she was calling them men. You could not prove her wrong. She's like, you got to prove me wrong that these not men. She wanted them to be men so bad. Nah, brother. I really, 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 really need you to never have an argument with none of these men again until you're ready to raise your voice and let the devils know in these women enough is enough. I'll be listening on your platform and you go ham on one another, but the women can just be disrespectful. Very disrespectful. I don't like looking at these YouTube channels because I get aggravated, and I get aggravated off the real. And the real is this: we cannot be cooning, we cannot be selling out, we cannot be allowing Jezebel to run and control us. We cannot allow that. We need each other more than anything right now. We need each other. We need each other.
What have you done today for anybody but yourself? Tell me. Tell me, what have you done? What did you do today for anybody in the black community? Jack shit. Jack shit. What building does Straight Black Pride have in New York City? Y'all niggas, y'all motherfuckers been around how many years? Where's your office space? What programs do you have for kids? What programs are running in the community from you that's teaching people about how to promote a healthy sexuality? You ain't got shit, but you sit in your house in that basement on Rogers angry at a woman on YouTube. But these dudes ain't doing shit. But you don't want to talk to the dudes. You rather focus on the female. That sounds corny to me. Soft and corny. And you don't know how to control yourself. And as you get up there with this red, wild-ass speech, have some decorum. That's when a person has the floor and they get to speak when they're allowed to. You don't understand that. But you're going to learn today. Anybody that speaks against the community.
Yo, what's going on? This is K from Ear to the Streets. Back with another one. And I'm going in a different direction with this one. I no longer will speak to black women with words of advice or anything like that. My focus from this day forward, as far as my channel, will go into getting black men into perspective and on the right path. So the purpose of this video is to highlight and call out some behavior that needs to stop. Now, what I've been noticing amongst black men
it's spinning around for some reason.
is we carry these feminine traits. And the reason why a lot of black men carry feminine traits is because a lot of us have been, what they said, 8 out of 10 black children are raised in a single mother household. So, you know, that would explain why so many men walking around with female, you know, feminine traits. But as a grown man, you're supposed to be able to identify that and weed it out. Just like any other hindrance that you find in yourself as a man. You know, that's what most men have their issues with, their vices and those weaknesses. And this is a weakness that I believe that black men need to start to weed out, this feminine stuff, because it's affecting us more than anything. And it's happening, it seems to be subconsciously, where I see black men, they believe that they're doing the right thing by having these feminine speaking points, but they don't realize that they're speaking against themselves and other good black men. And my point is, you know, I hear Taz a lot of times defend his wife Nala and Cynthia G's rhetoric. And his main thing is, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. Or with Q Butter, his rhetoric is, oh, Cynthia G is only talking about the black men that are not doing stuff for the community and taking care of their family. And first and foremost, Taz's whole argument is bullshit. And
We talk about agents.
To me, this dude is corny and boring. And when you listen to his channel, unless he's arguing with somebody or being belligerent, it's not very entertaining. He makes these like documentaries that, unless like you're in his brain, you don't even know what the hell the point of the documentary is. or I don't watch him enough to. Maybe he has a speaking part or a whole different part where he breaks down these documentaries that he comes out with. But I've tried to watch because at first, with the whole B1 thing, that's what brought me to him. But I noticed. Let me get back on topic. I
No,
start
because I'm about to
going on
fast forward.
tangents. My thing with black men is that what you're gonna notice in this clip that I put up, and I'm gonna add to this video. I noticed that black men have a hard time speaking to each other when they have disagreeing points or opposing positions in a argument or debate. And the problem with this shit is nothing is being done. You got two men that, for the most part, I would say, above all, want the best for black people, and they disagreeing. And in the clip, you'll notice that there's a man named Dessalines up there, and his whole point is he's not going to sit back and watch nobody. He even went as far as to say he won't even stand there and allow his sister, mother, or aunt or brother talk crazy about black people, whether it be a man or woman, and stand there and watch that. And to be honest, just to throw my little 2 cents in, for the most part, I stood with him. I agree with him totally, 100%. That been my issue with Cynthia G this whole time. And the only thing I didn't hear, well, he did say it, but I'm gonna say it in this video. The main issue I have, see, Ty sits up there and says, "How are you a man worried about what a woman is saying?" Yo, the brother explained to you that this woman is telling black women to divest from American black men as if there's no good black men.
See, we talk about
She
agents.
sat up there and let a white man say on her platform that there's no way possible a black man could be high value. But you got a black man sitting here defending her. Like, she does have a responsibility to the black community that she wants black men to build and invest their time and money and energy into. She has a responsibility to the black community to speak up about that. You can't in one breath say, Q Butter, that she's only talking about the 25%, but when the cracker gets up there and talks about all black men, she goes along with it. Gives no pushback to it.
That's the agency.
Nobody had a problem with that
It's the
white boy
feds.
being up on her platform. The
Understand?
problem was it was a black woman sitting right there co-signing every propaganda and lie that cracker sat there and told. And now you got two other black men that claim to be pro-black, claim that they want black men to invest in the community, and can't even have a respectable conversation. And I have a deep problem because that man Dessalines got up there and didn't disrespect nobody. When it was just him and Q Butter talking, Q Butter sat there and cut that man off and then tried to say that the Dessalines was the one that was triggered. Meanwhile, every time Dessalines tried to talk, Q Butter cut him off and then said because it was his platform, it was okay for him to just keep running on and on and on and rambling and saying the same point 3 times over. But when this man want to sit there and talk, it's an issue.
See, this is why I really need this to get to Q. I really need him to understand, like, yo, dude, you can stand on your 10 toes and stand behind Cynthia G all day long, but the real movement is happening. The real movement is happening. We men are about to line. We men are really about to come together. Us men is about to take back of our communities. And all those dudes who's hanging on the sidelines with the shorties, y'all about to see troops come in. on some real fucking like Red Dawn type shit. And anybody who's not in formation will be held captives until we realize, are you good or bad? Too good for the company or bad for the company? You're gonna have to prove yourself to the army that you are for the company. It's gonna be very hard trying to prove that shit while you're over there with what we already looking at is, yo, these might be our enemies. We gotta check them out. Because if they're not over here in formation, they enemy. Enemy.
I do not respect this shit. Like, let me calm down and get back to my point. Because the point is that regardless, again, it would have been different to me if Dessalines came up there talking like Tommy Sotomayor, right? It would have been way different. For Taz, that dude, brother Rob, and Q to have to go at him like that. But for the brother just to be sitting up there saying that it's not right that she speaks of black men as a whole, and the only thing Taz could say is, if you don't like it, don't listen. But then claim to be like this tough guy and not gonna let nobody else talk crazy. Like, what does Taz think? He's the only like man with heart, the only man that's gonna stand on his convictions and his beliefs. Like, and it's just crazy that y'all brothers think that it's okay. Like in the position that black men are in this country, in this world right now, that we should sit back and start to allow the teachers of our children, the mothers of our children, to not take accountability. No, we're wrong for checking them. But the problem I have with the whole thing, and I'm gonna put a video out about this, is that for my whole life, there's been talk shows and black women going all over, making movies, and now on YouTube talking about black men's shortcomings. But are we sitting here really gonna say that black women have no shortcomings? Once a black man talks about that, it's a problem.
Shit. You know what I'm saying?
But we're supposed to fix our community, and it's according to with these same black women. If a black man, if Cynthia G don't know about this black man, what he's doing in his community and for his family, he's a piece of shit until he explains himself to her. Fuck out of here, Taz. You and Q Butter are bugging, giving this bitch some type of like power or rank to even think that somebody got to prove themselves to her when she's running around here having babies by another YouTuber. That's the exact Dusty that she talks about all the time. The nerve of y'all, man. And this shit got to stop, because my whole point, like I said, it ain't about Cynthia G. It's about black men. It's about two so-called pro-black men not being able to give the respect to another black man that didn't disrespect you and just disagreed with what this bitch was saying. And then you wonder why black men can't build and can't do shit together. That niggas hate each other. Until that man got up there and said he had a mental health clinic, Q Butter was trying to play him for having a bar. And I'm from New York. I'm from the town. I'm not from Brooklyn. I'm from the Bronx. But we all know how much it costs to start a business in Brooklyn.
Shitload.
So yeah, a bar is not, for the community. You don't know if that man got an all black staff in that bar. You don't know if that's a peaceful gathering that black people, working class people could go hang out with. He told you that. The work ain't just what you say it is, and that's y'all fucking problem. Y'all think y'all could criticize everybody else and then want to fucking straight get on some fucking fake conscious gangster shit when people question your shit. Nah, that's not how it goes, yeah. And we as black men ain't gonna get nowhere treating each other like that. That's some sucker shit. It's some coward shit. And I stand with Dessalines. I stand with that, brother. Yeah. Peace.
You can tell he's frustrated, man. You can tell.
If you're moderate to severe Crohn's
You see what I'm
disease,
saying, folks? You can tell.
are stopping you in your tracks. Choose Stellara from the start and move to a lasting remission. Stellara can provide relief for people.
You could tell he's bothered. You can tell because I'm bothered. You could tell that whole thing went down wrong. You could tell that it was like, what the hell? How did they go south like that? And all we just went here, yo, check this chick. But nah, he didn't. He chose not to. And he chose to check this brother, in which can cause major friction over this dumb broad. Well, one last video in regards to FBI informants. I really believe that Cynthia G is an informant. Okay, she's an informant, folks. She definitely get paid by the system. She gets paid by the system to do exactly what she's doing. You cannot do it. You cannot do that without that faithfully, without receiving some type of finances. You cannot. You can. Just imagine we sit here and just bad. Just imagine we just truly bash every single thing about women. Blame her for having fibroids. Oh, you fuck too much. Blame her for having breast cancer. Oh, you was having too many babies. You was having too many abortions. Just blame her for any and everything, stupid shit. Just imagine that's the focus. That's not. That's that chick's focus. That's crazy. And that's what we're trying to say. Like, yo, she's crazy. And I don't follow her. I don't pay attention. I don't do nothing above her. I just realized, like, what the hell is she? Like, wow. And then I investigate, like, yo, this is all she do? That ain't right. So one last video before I disappear.
Welcome to Like It Is. In an earlier program that we ran as a special three-part series entitled A Decade of Struggle, we included an interview with a man who worked as an informer for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We didn't show all of that interview, however, because of time limitations. We do feel, nonetheless, that we should air as much as possible of that interview because of the gravity of the information it contains. This edition of Like It Is will be devoted solely to that end.
Okay, folks, I just want you to understand.
The name of the informant
Where are the informants now?
Darthard Perry, also known as Ed Riggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello. He worked for the FBI as an informer who infiltrated various black organizations during the 1960s. Ours is the only full-face on-camera interview that he has conducted thus far. Now, we interviewed him on two separate occasions. So, for purposes of continuity, we've edited this piece, going from one interview to another according to subject areas. We began with his account of how he was recruited by the FBI.
I was a student at Sacramento City College and Sacramento State College.
I was a student at Sacramento State College. He was a student. So, like I say, I'm going to say this again. Where are the informants now? How are they going about getting these informants? Where are they recruiting these informants from? So you say he was in college. So they in the college. The same way the Black Panthers was making their moves, they studied the Black Panthers and they said we can do the same. The same way they was getting radical for out of the schools and be part of the Black Panther movement, they can go and get their patriots out the Black Panther. They can go and find their black white chocolate. Understand what I'm saying? They knew that everybody wasn't on the same page, so it was send informants into the school system, some old 21 Jump Street, and find those individuals that we can use. So the FBI went inside the schools, played as if they was children, and found the right people. So now let's fast forward it. Where are the informants now? So they go into the music industry. They know who's about to get the contracts. They go into the schools and they find those individuals who's about to get the contract to become an athlete. And they know who's doing what. They know who's dating who, because they was playing in there for 3 years. They was in the school system watching. They were recruiting, waiting for you to mess up so they can say, "Gotcha, now you work for us." So how did they get this man on deck? This program was originally aired on November 2nd, 1980.
I was stopped in the parking lot one day by a special agent by the name of he told me a little bit about that he knew that I had worked in military intelligence and how would I like to work for him. And also that I knew certain people in the so-called black radical fringe that they would be very interested in finding different information out about. I told him that my term for military intelligence had been very short-lived. I was not interested in them, and I wasn't interested in him either.
By now, this must have been 1968.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The following month, I was going to school on a federal grant and also a VA loan check. My check didn't come down, either one. I had bought a oscilloscope for a television communications class that I was taking from a person that I didn't even know. He just had this oscilloscope for sale and it was very cheap, so I bought it. Since my checks hadn't came down, being a student, and I was taking close to, I think, about 23 units, something like that. It was a very heavy course load. I couldn't work and go to school at the same time. So I decided I would take the oscilloscope down to the pawn shop, pawn it, and use that money until my checks came. I went down, I pawned the oscilloscope. As I came out, I got busted. Possession of stolen property. Seems that someone had broken into Sacramento City College and stolen the oscilloscope along with quite a few other things.
So what happened?
Well, I was taken to court due to a friend of mine, attorney in Sacramento that I had been working for. He intervened for me, and it was broken down to misdemeanor possession of stolen property, which I was given 3 years summary probation for. Let me clarify this. Summary probation means that all you have to do is you write a letter into the probation officer every month, and you say, "Well, I've been a good boy this month. Why?" You know. I got an offer for a scholarship at Los Angeles City College, which I took advantage of, and I started going to Los Angeles City College and UCLA in Los Angeles.
These kids was already targeted.
Coming out of LACC from the school one day, I was met again by the same special agent.
The folks, well, these
who
kids
said
was
that
targeted.
he wanted to talk to me, and the offer was still good about me working for him. Again, I told him no, I was not interested.
You know, it's so sad because I already, look, you gotta remember, it wasn't that many people. It wasn't that many people, black folks, enrolled in college at this time. So they knew that this was the way they was going to recruit. So as they came in, they was going around and asking each and every one and trying to see who they can get to be an informant. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you just look at his whole demeanor, can you just imagine him being younger? I'm just looking at his demeanor, like, they was like, we got one. Even though he was like, no, they knew the pressure on him to get him. They knew they was going to get him. So it was like, it was even probably all the way down to this. So what you going to school for? Well, I'm going to school for such and such and such and such. Well, wow, that's some heavy courses right there. You working? Nah. Okay, so I mean, you got to get this, you got to get that. You need this for the course, you need that for the course. I figure I make it happen. And so now they say, okay, so now they found out what he's studying, what he need, boom, boom, boom. So now they go and here's the other boy. That person who sold the shit, that was already the informants. So he was already put in place to just so happen to have the shit and just so happen to be able to sell it to him because he just so happened to be the one to do it. Okay, folks? They are authors and writers. They writing these movie scripts out. It's a real life movie. They know what they're doing. It's not like it was a HBCU. It was all about these kids, and we got a select group of people who else is on the list. All right, so we got Patrick O'Neal. Who else on the next? Okay, we got Don Murray. Who else on the list? Okay, we got Umar Johnson. It was just a small list of people they had to go through. And then once they can sort them out, then they had to sort out and plant their people in place because they need them to be part of this operation. And just imagine this. This is all coming from the FBI. And all these agents are getting a budget. They have a budget. And they keep the budget. They keep in the majority of the budget. And what they have to do is get their agents, and they're going to get their inside people to give them a couple of dollars. They keep the bigger part of the budget, and they have their agents do all the dirty work. They get killed. They get killed. They don't. They get hooked on drugs. They do. It don't matter because these are niggas to them. It's very critical, folks. Very crucial. I feel bad for him because they was targeted. They was pressured.
Then told me that I should be interested because they could help me with a problem that I had. And I told him I didn't have any problems that I knew of. He said, "Oh, yes, you remember the possession of stolen?" I said, "Yeah, well, that's summary probation, man. I just write a letter in every month." He said, "Oh, no, that's not summary probation." It turned out it's a felony probation for 3 years, which means you have to report in every week.
To bring it down to a nutshell, what happened?
What happened was that as far as they were concerned, it was felony probation now, And if when you jump probation, that means they can put you in for the rest of the term of the probation, which came to about 2 years and 10 months.
And so they threatened you with that?
Yes, they did.
Why didn't you stand up to that?
I called the probation office in Sacramento first. They told me a warrant was out for my arrest and that I was going to jail.
Did you have any particular fear of jail?
Yes. I don't like to be shut in. I have a very, very dark fear of being shut up anywhere.
How would they have known that?
The only way they could have known that is from my psychological profile when I went into military intelligence, which they take on all people that work in military intelligence.
So you bent and you decided to go to work?
Yes.
How would you say that most of those who are doing the same thing that you did have gotten that behavior the same way you...
Now, it's my point. My point was this. Now, he said earlier that, you know, before he went to college, he served in the military. So they already had a foul on him. They already had the scoop on him. They was following him. Okay. This is scary, folks. They was following this man. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew how to do it because they had a job to do. These agents had a job to do, and they had to form more agents that look like you and I. Can you imagine how many black men have died because of these crackers? Then you'd be like, oh, they deserve. What about his situation? Look, don't do it. Oh my God, yo, do you understand the type of pressure he had? Yo, how many folks would have just became an informant? Huh? How many folks would have became an informant? There was pressure, you know, it was only 2 years, you know, saying, well, why did you do it? Was 2 years in the 60s. And for what? For what type of crime? Like, yo, I've been pissed the fuck off too. Like, what? They recruited thousands of young people. They recruited hundreds of young people to be informants. Hundreds of young black people. Thousands, to be honest. So being a sellout is just something that's natural. You know what I'm saying? Being a sellout is something natural, folks. And it's sad. Being an agent is something natural when it comes to us. Why? Because look at our situation. Can you imagine being on the slave farm, the plantation, and all those damn agents? Being an agent just for a fucking egg? But Cynthia G is an agent, and it's important for us to understand that they out the colleges, they galvanize enough college students, and now they're in the movement itself. They're in the feminist movement. They're in the black girl rock movement. It's later than what we think, folks. We must get organized ASAP because they have their informants in the churches preaching this gay shit. They have the informants. Their informants went to school. Their informants went to, was that seminary school? The informants know the Bible, know the Quran, know all these religious books. The informants is in high places. They're agents for the devil. We can't play these games no more. We cannot play these games. We're in no position right now to play these games. We are in no position to play these games. Identify them, eradicate them. That's the only way we're going to be successful with our movements. So, Q-Butter, identify it, eradicate it. It was weird because I was trying to figure out why I was blocked. I'm blocked in your chat. I don't know if you did it, but one of the people's blocked me. I don't know if they recognize who I am and blocked me. There was many times I was typing stuff out. Anyway, time out. I had to check. I was like, oh, who blocked me? And then next thing you know, I tap in and you tap me and I'd be able to go on the panel. So I'm like, I don't think you did it. But bro, you got some agents all around you. You have agencies all around you. Don't become their agent. Don't become the agent. You can't. I can't allow you to become the agent. We need as much troops as possible. We need as many soldiers as possible. We need as many leaders as possible. We need as many generals as possible. I cannot allow you to go down that road to become somebody's fucking lapdog. Fuck Cynthia G. Is there anybody who would like to say something? I done gave y'all at least 10 hours of my mind. I gave you 10 hours of my blood, my energy. I didn't want to talk this, but I had to. Same as I could tell that dude, ear to the street. I could tell it bothered him as well. But we must address this as men. We must address this to make a change. That's the only way we're gonna make these changes. We must address these situations. When they come up, we address it. And address it with respect and love. I do this with tough love. I don't do this with no maliciousness, and I don't do it with no hate. I do it with straight, good intentions because I want goodness to come from this. If you guys want to continue watching this with me, I'm gonna watch a little bit more of this. I'm watch a little bit more of this.
You did, they will coerce. Of course. Some can take it for. How would you say that most of those who are doing the same thing that you did have gotten into that behavior? The same way you did, they will coerce. Of course, pressure. Some can take it for. I think some might do it for the pay, for the feeling of power. It's a natural syndrome for a powerless person giving a pedestal where he can direct, or he can say, well, this man goes to jail or this man stays free. They get a feeling of security from it. For the FBI, did you get an indoctrination or did you just start cold? No, I got an indoctrination. Started off with camera surveillance. Excuse me, camera surveillance. Electronic techniques, surveillance, shadowing, the obtaining of let's say letters, empty envelopes, instructions on how to go to somebody's garbage container and pick out useful items,
You'd be surprised at the things that they take out of the garbage can right away. I mean, anywhere from the leftover food from breakfast, just to know what this guy eats for breakfast. When they become interested in a person or a group of people, they try to find out as much as they possibly can, psychologically and academically and social-wise. Who do they run with? Do they go to certain nightclubs? Does this one have a sex hang-up? Is the man impudent? Anything that can be used later on.
How long was this indoctrination process?
It lasts anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
What is the most sophisticated equipment that you use as far as eavesdropping is concerned?
The video setup, and also I work with the new, I think it's called parabolic reflector for sound pickup. Very interesting piece of equipment.
Now, this is important. I want y'all to see how, look at his face feature, very interesting piece of equipment. So if they had their, black informants that they was recruiting in the 60s, 50 years later, don't you think they're enticing these people with this Jane Bond shit? Okay? This shit is really at an all-time secrecy high. We don't know who is who. Y'all need to really get that in your skull. Who are these people?
How is that used?
Okay. It reminds you of a dish. Have you ever seen sound pickup? And also, I work with the new, I think it's called parabolic reflector for sound pickup. Very interesting piece of equipment.
How is that used?
Okay, it reminds you of a disc. Have you ever seen those radio scopes?
Yeah.
You know how they're a disc and then there is a
cone behind it,
cone in the center, right?
Yeah.
Okay, these parabolic reflectors were just like that, except a smaller version, and you would point it in the direction of where you wanted to pick up the sound from.
And how far away can it pick up sound?
Oh, I think it was anywhere from the ones I use from 200 to 500 yards.
What?
Oh yeah.
200 to 500 yards.
You could be in a building, like say we're here right now, okay? Okay, not the next building, but the building behind. Let's say it's a little bit taller. Okay, I could point that parabolic reflector from there to this window, and I could pick up. That's how good it was.
Through the window.
Oh yeah.
200 to 500 yards that this was able to pick up sound in the 60s.
How did this one go about tailing a person? Describe that. Is there a particular art?
These are great questions he's asking.
There is a particular art to it, but okay. Let me state. Number one, the easiest way is to get close to the person. That's the best way. Okay. The second best way is the thing I called trial and error observation, where you would go around and you would follow this guy, let's say, from a distance of anywhere from a half block to a block, as long as you can keep him in sight. And then you find out certain locales or certain places that this man goes to every day. Now, if you can get a set pattern of places that this man goes to every day, you got him down. You got him down.
Let me tell you a secret, yo. There's many things that you watch in shows that you watch, and it helps you to think. I try not to walk the same way. Well, now it's cold. Sometimes I just hurry to get the fuck back. But I try not to walk the same way. I try to change up my direction. Even when it comes to me thinking, I would stop in the middle of the street and try and blink my mind out so I can't even have a thought. And then I would just change my whole thought to do something different. I would stop, pause, and blank my mind out, and then think of a different thought, so that the original thought that I was already moving on get tampered with, so that if they have some type of mind control and to know what you're doing, you outsmarting them. I mean, this is war. And so when I hear shit like this, I'll be like, yo, I'm already trained here, because I do this. This is real, folks.
That's what they needed to know.
So after a couple of weeks, you were ready to go to work.
I wasn't ready, but I went to work, yeah.
Do you know if this indoctrination period is more sophisticated today?
Probably much more so sophisticated, for the simple reason that they're probably more severe on them as far as rating is concerned. Simply because of all the disclosures that are being made against them. I think they're being very, very careful. And when they sink their hooks in, I think they're making sure that it is tight, airtight.
In your experience, did you ever see the FBI try to sway newspaper or media news?
Oh, hey, let me run this down to you. LA Times, man. I went over there and picked up press passes from certain people over there. Let me see, some people that work for NBC.
TV?
Yes, in Los Angeles, used to get press passes to the Bureau and stuff. In fact, we used to get some camera equipment from there.
So a lot of this news film was probably turned over to the FBI.
Oh, sure.
Was definitely turned over.
Oh, hey, they had a lot of reporters, and well, you know, it was that old game of one hand washes the other. Usually, an agent would prefer to meet the reporter on a one-on-one basis. You understand what I mean? Build a rapport with it. You know, go out to the press club, buy a few drinks. You know, take him out to Hollywood Park. You know, for the races. You know, that kind of thing. Say, hey, Jim, you know, your paper's covering such and such, or your TV station's covering such and such. And yeah, I just like a little bit more information that I've been getting. I need it, you know. It would kind of help me, you know what I mean? A personal favor. And if you do something for me, maybe I can do something for you, you know, in the future. Like, you know, when we're about to break a case, you'll be the first to know, that kind of thing.
What kind of work did you end up doing as an undercover agent? Were you doing espionage work or informant work?
Informant work, and also what you would call illegal entries, selling of weapons, selling of explosives, arson.
So he was getting the weapons from the feds, and he was selling it to the Panthers. So now they have all this hot stuff, and now they're getting raided and they're getting locked up for stolen armory. So now they're not only getting caught with guns, but now they're getting caught with stolen guns. That's something I couldn't do. I could not have been over from it, folks.
You would sell weapons and explosives to these so-called radical groups that you were joining?
Yes.
All right. Where did you operate?
I was given a cover name, Ed Riggs. With that, I was also given a birth certificate stating that both my parents were. A birth certificate and a record for a Robert Riggs and a Mary Riggs who were deceased.
And you lost all of your true identity?
Yes.
And you operated in California?
Out of
California.
What cities in California?
Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, Berkeley, Sacramento, Chino, San Bernardino, Santa Cruz.
So
any other states? California?
Yeah. Chicago. No. Chicago, New York. Made 2 trips to Washington, D.C. Also I better put in Seattle, Washington. That's very important too.
How does the FBI coordinate this information? You were one of a number of agents who were doing this. How did they correlate and coordinate this flow of information? How many agents, let's start with that, how many agents were working in a given city, like LA, in the late 60s?
Jesus, we're talking about a lot of people. Like I said before, in the state, I would say 700 to 1,000. In Los Angeles, which was a large concentrated area of blacks, we're talking about anywhere from 300 to 400 people. San Francisco, probably the same thing. That's a large concentration of black people. Wherever there was a large concentration of blacks, a large concentration of minorities. Don't let me only say blacks, because we're talking about the Chicanos and we're talking about the Chinese too.
But among every ethnic group, there were ethnic groups of that group who could be recruited by the FBI to infiltrate their own.
Right.
Just want to get a sense of how much money American taxpayers were laying out for this kind of exercise. What was your salary?
When I started with the Bureau, I was making $200 a week plus expenses. When I left the Bureau, I was making close to about $800 a week, and also some expenses too.
So it might run as high as $1,000 a week.
Yes.
I hope you heard that, right? In the 1968, 1969, this dude right here said he was making damn near $1,000 a week, even if it was just for a month. He made $1,000 a week, $600 a week in the 60s. What was that money about? Let me Google it. I'm gonna Google for you so you can understand what was how much was what was $500 in the 1960s. How much is that value? How much was $500 worth in 1965? $500 in 1960 is equivalent to purchasing power to about $5,000 today. Okay, so $500 was about $5,000 today. So the FBI was kicking out major bread. It was just wasting money. And then it was getting pissed off because all the money they was putting out there. And then these cats were like, oh, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing in front. I ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. They was getting killed because they ain't have nothing. They were like, we don't pick, and then they would kill them and take the money right back from them. So many people was getting killed. You know, can you imagine? So if he's saying that all these bodies, all these people was involved, from 300 to 500 to 1,000 people per city, at least 12% of them was killed off by the feds themselves for not having any information, for saying, for them saying, I'm going to let it be known that who you are. Y'all monsters. Okay, you know you dead. How many women got raped and killed? Who's agents? And so now he asks her, so is it, you know, compared to this day and age now, you know, is it more sophisticated? He said, hell yeah. So now we ask in this day and age, because that was the 80s, he asked that. So now in this day and age, you got to be part of the elite. You got to get initiated in. You got to be part of that Illuminati group. And the sad thing about it is that there's no culture, there's no concern for black people, there's no concern for a certain class, so therefore they got their demons in place. I'd just like to thank y'all for tuning in with me. If you want to see, the rest of that, you go and check it out on your own. It's what's this article? What's the story right here? This one's called FBI informant Dart Hard Penny Perry. Okay, it's the Black Panther Party infiltration. FBI informant Dart Hard Perry. This is a very interesting one. I really like this one because he really gave so much. He gave so much more detail. Sad thing about it is that he really was involved. They was paying him. He was military. He was military trained, college student. They got him.
According to what assignments you were put on at the time. And statewide, there was 750 agents. 700 to 1,000. It might have been more than 1,000 statewide. People are into a fantasy world when they believe that the Federal Bureau of Investigation finds out what it finds out through the method of scientific investigation. That the agents can just go out and they can plot a course and they can follow a man everywhere and they take notes and such. That's not the name of the game. The name of the game is find someone that is close to that man or can get close to that man or that group or whatever and have him do the legwork.
So in other words, there obviously then would have to be more informants than agents.
Definitely.
What would the ratio be? 10 to 1?
I think every special agent usually has anywhere from 6 to 7 what I would call prime informants or agent provocateurs. And then also you have anywhere from 20 to 25 people per agent also that are not really what you would call the everyday informant or agent provocateur, meaning that person is not on a steady payroll by the Bureau, but every once in a while we will go to that person for information.
What is your speculation on what recently happened in Miami? Would you suspect that there has been a number of agents or informants that have descended on Miami since that eruption?
Oh, definitely. And not only from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, too, you have people from military intelligence. Military intelligence and the CIA, for the simple reason that they want to find out the CIA and the military intelligence people want to find out, is this anything connected with some kind of foreign agency? That's their prime objective. The Bureau wants to find out whether this was a organized type of mass movement that's going on. Are there leaders? Are there central people that started this? They want to find that out. Who was the one that was out there getting a group of people together and said, hey, let's go get this,
Like, I don't even want to stop him from talking, but this is a little show I'm doing. I'm about to end it because I'm just going to finish watching this on my own because it's about like a whole hour left. Easy. So, hour 20 minutes. So I'm going to watch this and then go to sleep watching it. But, ladies and gentlemen, when we look at where we at in 2022, going into 2023, who are our informants? He said it was like 7 to 8 to 1. For every agent, it was about 7 to 10 informants. Who's the informants in the music industry? Who off the top of your head you thinking is a real informant in the music industry? Who's your informant in the entertainment world? You guys trying to tell me that there is no black informants in the world right now? Yeah, okay. Thank y'all for your listening here, your support. Yo, once again, to my man Q, we are not coming at you because of hate. We're coming at you because of love. It's important for you to check these demons. We cannot big up and pedestal and praise everyone. We have to call these demons out for what they are. Shout out to everybody. Have a beautiful night. Peace.